Uh, is this on? Yeah, all right. So what did I want to look at? Something on Twitter. Oh, yeah. Here, let me move this over. Man, I hate to block AOC. Look at that mouth. Woo! Anyway. AOC.
Mr. Chairman, though, that was unbelievably inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay? It has nothing to do with color of your skin.
Mr.
Chairman, though, that was unbelievably inspiring.
Okay. This guy's a paid Democrat shill anyway, this moron. Republican Congressman Eli Crane from Arizona called black people colored people on the House floor yesterday. Crane specifically said, Mr. Chairman, that was unbelievably inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people. Yeah, colored people. What's the difference between saying colored people and people of color? Exactly what's the difference? Somebody answer that one. Colored people, people of color.
What's the difference between bonus hole and a woman?
And a woman, yeah. Bonus hole and crazy hot. I mean, what's the difference? Yeah, I mean, and he's like, this is not okay. These people...
Fake outrage.
Oh, yeah, it's more...
So boring. These people are boring.
I try not to use either people of color, but typically more accepted than colored people. Yeah, by people that are insane. Why would you care what's accepted by insane people?
The same people that think people of color is acceptable are the same people that try to put Latinx.
I was about ready to say that.
My people.
Right.
And when I say that, I think of like I've got a crown and a robe, and I say my people with my arms extended because I speak for everybody that's, anywhere near like my genetic line.
Right. That's yeah.
So stupid.
It's
so dumb.
It just boggles my mind how these people just. I got to do something here real quick. It boggles my mind how these people. Oh, I tried to stream on Kick again. Just doesn't work. I can't get anything to show up.
I'm gonna waste.
It says live, but when I go to the NVENC encoder, it does not show up.
Maybe Phil's right, even though he attributed it to me.
To you, and you didn't say, yeah. Well, that's
maybe he heard it somewhere.
Or maybe he heard that and then he thought you said it or something, But I'm just saying, that's kind of weird. They're going to have to fix that. They're definitely going to have to, because everyone's using NVENC almost now. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of POC, Latin pox. Latin pox, POC with
Tupac.
POC with an X. Yeah. Ted Cruz and somebody else are trying to ban the usage of Latinx in Texas.
Hey, why not? They want to ban, call it hate speech. Everybody ought to, since they want to make these laws against hate speech, and you can't define hate speech, what one person hates might be different than another person. So
I don't have a problem with hate speech. I think it exists, but I don't think that it's.
It definitely exists. Yeah.
Like I say hateful things all the time.
I do too.
But I don't think that it's something that should be legally acted on.
Yeah,
like,
you can't legislate vague terms. Yeah, vague.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like climate change. What does that mean?
Well, the climate changes pretty often. That's why we have weathermen.
Right.
it's the changing of where Carlin talked all about this, the adjusting and the shifting and the redefining and
Of the terms,
softening and
right?
making it obscure so you don't really know what you're talking about.
Right.
Nobody can stand on any ground, so you don't know. You just don't know until they give it to you, until they define it for you. That's just what it is.
And if you say climate, it's like, well, climate change. Like some people will say climate change doesn't exist. Well, you're a climate change denier? No, you moron. How is it just you stating something mean it's a negative? Climate change, they love to blanket these vague terms on everything.
Yeah.
So they don't have to have a position. They purposely do that so people cannot nail them down on a particular. Look, when you're going to come out and say there's a global crisis, you need a particular something particular. Explain to me exactly what you're talking about, and no one can do it. Oh, it's climate change. Wait, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to sue the Earth for
Right.
hateful climate change.
You accursed sun. You
So
damn
you're over
star
100
in the middle of
degree
our solar
weather.
system. Yeah.
I need a federal ruling against the Earth,
And,
against the state of Texas, actually, for having over 100-degree weather. I need to sue Texas.
Right. I mean, as soon as they raise taxes, that'll
It's
go
hateful
away.
to us pox.
Yeah. As soon as they raise taxes, those temperatures will start going down. You know that. That's how that works. And there are some morons that believe that.
See, here's the thing. So the Earth's changed. We got to adapt, right? One way we could be adapting to the grid would be nuclear energy.
Don't say that.
I've been meaning to post up a video. Remember that long-haired dude that kind of looks like a mix between Thor and Amy Schumer?
Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, he tries to say there's something else, but to me, he looks like fucking Amy Schumer. Like he really does. He
Yeah.
looks like Amy Schumer as a man
Oof.
with long hair.
Oof.
I know, but he put up a video the other day. That was basically something that probably people were afraid to say, which is the nukes that we dropped on Japan. Why didn't it destroy the country like with all that radiation? Like, where's all of the, if nuclear fallout is so bad, why are those areas not just destroyed generationally, with all
Right.
this mutation?
Right.
Like, it's actually fine. It's really not as bad as people on paper have put it out to be. So I got to watch that video, but he put it out the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, you motherfucker! That's
And that
amazing
was
you would do
concentrated.
that.
I mean, we're bombarded by radiation. The planet is bombarded by radiation 100%. I mean, all the time. I mean, that's why
I got skin as a POC. I got skin privilege, so that's one thing you don't have
as a
So,
Latinx. Yeah.
Right, as a Latinx.
Yeah,
pox,
you've got you've got lead line skin. It's just
hateful skin privilege. Yeah.
But I don't understand. So what I put, I was like, the comment I put, which I probably can't. Oh, somebody tread lightly. Yeah, that's exactly what they want you to do is tread lightly. No, I came right out and said on Twitter, I just stated why. Give me one logical reason why everyone's okay with people saying people of color, and then you can turn around the next sentence and go colored people, and everyone's like, oh, aghast. Oh my God, how terrible. He should be removed. What's the fucking difference? There's no fucking difference.
They just decided that.
Yeah, it's arbitrary rule, decided rules. It's gonna be this way. Nah, people's got it.
Nailed it. She nailed it.
Yeah, haven't we spent the last few years talking about how we need to support people of color? Find something new and fake outrage. Yeah, exactly. People of
Perfect.
Yeah, and who cares if
Even
you
people
say
of color
colored
don't care.
people or people of color? I'm looking
I
at
don't
it
like either
logically. I don't like either one either, and I say that too. I say, what
here's the
logical
thing.
sense does it make to be outraged about one and not the other? I said,
Here's the
logic.
thing, in our time, like it doesn't make any sense. People that we say white are not white. You're not. I'm looking at your camera. You're not white. You've got color to you. So first off, it's just stupid in the first place to continue along the lines. Now, because they want to.
I'm not white.
Let go of the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to continue dragging that old shit from the past. Then sure, you want to keep saying that shit. You know, like. But it's just ridiculous and outdated, and give it up. Like,
Yeah, give it
forward, you know?
exactly. Give it up. That's it. That's exactly.
Tired of it.
One of my replies is exactly what you just said. One of my replies is what I said. Or focus. This is what I said. Or focus on the individual and do away with grouping, labeling people due to something as stupid as skin color. Anyway. Skin, the color of your skin.
On my timeline. Well, maybe
you
I'm not
blocked.
supposed to see
You
your
muted
replies.
me. How dare?
It's
How
my
dare you,
POC
Greta?
privilege. I think
How
I gotta
dare you
switch the
mute me,
tabs.
Greta?
Check this out. Oh, I'm gonna send this to you. Here we go.
But it says, I realize that would take away much of the political grift in this nation since there's big money in continuing to convince people they are oppressed. I mean, that's the deal. They want to keep this outrage going because it's big money.
Yep.
Oh, God, I get some kind of... Yeah, I mean, but... Oh, well. It's just
Yeah,
stupid.
I'll send one to you on Twitter.
I don't like to label people by their skin. Skin color's stupid. It's fucking arbitrary fucking horse shit about you. You have no control over it unless you're Michael Jackson and you want to bleach yourself or something. You're born with your skin color. It doesn't matter. All right.
That's the same reason why Carlin did that joke about sports team or like the state that you're born in. Why do you have state pride? You were born there. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
What effect? It gives you nothing over any other. You did nothing, or and then he goes on with the, yeah.
Yeah, or like I like Doug Stanhope's act about people going, yeah, we saved the French. We saved the French from in World War II, those pussies that surrendered. No, you didn't do shit. He's like, no, you get home, you go home and get stoned and watch sports bloopers.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. It's like when people refer to themselves on a sports team when they're talking about how good their sports team's doing. We whooped we whooped you guys last night. No, you didn't. You were sitting on your couch eating fucking Cheetos, okay?
Right.
The Atlanta Braves fucking whooped you know what I mean? You're not part of the sports organization, you dumbass. It's so cringy when people do that. And I'm guilty. I've done that before. I always have to catch myself. It's not we, it's they. Playing the pronouns.
Yeah, I mean, if you're part of a team, I give it to you.
Yeah, I know.
Meaning, like, if you're a long-term, like,
fan or something. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it is.
It's still kind of cringy, though, when some,
it's a joke. It's fine. No one's going to die over it. But that's why it's funny, because it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Miss Netherlands. Oh, yeah, we got to look at this. Miss Netherlands' first transgender winner. For one, no, it's not transgender. There is no such thing as a transgender. This is the words that I hate. They get you on the transgender. Gender is, there's no such thing as a gender. You're either biological male or biological female. The old gender stuff doesn't even matter, doesn't exist. It's not a state of mind. It's just words that describe the biological realities of somebody.
Here's what somebody I follow said that is just perfect on calling him a dude isn't hate speech. It's reality.
It's reality. That's what what I'm saying.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's exactly just to the point.
A woman is being a woman. Yeah, I know Shania Twain put out a song, I feel like a woman. No, you don't feel like a woman. You don't feel like a man. Genetically, you're either a male or a female. There's no feeling about it. You're not assigned a sex. I hate when the sex you were assigned at birth. No, you weren't assigned horse shit at birth. There's reality. It's called reality.
I disagree. I think people say they feel like, sure, you can feel that. That doesn't make you that.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah, but what does that
any way you want?
How would I know how a woman feels? I've never been a woman a day in my life. How would I know how a woman feels?
Well, that's you.
Okay.
But some other person that's mentally insane, right? They feel like that's whatever. That there's nothing wrong with that. What we've gotten wrong is we're trying to force into law or policy feelings.
Well, of course,
literally,
of course, you're right. That shouldn't even be explained. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's so.
No, but it has to be. It's like the California channel that you do. Why are they even making these videos? Because we're at that level.
We are at that level. You're right.
Badly,
yes.
That we just need to hammer home the basics.
Yes.
Because people just seem to want to. No, but shut up. 2 + 2 = 4. Shut up. That's all it is.
You don't argue 2 + 2 = 4 every day of your life. You shouldn't have to argue.
If you're, what was that math? That new age math.
I know what that Common Core. Oh my fucking God.
Then you argue.
Oh my fucking God. They take 3 pages to explain how to divide 80 by fucking 8. And it takes 3 pages for the fucking colossally fucking stupid. There's no way on earth I would have ever gone through that. You have to write a goddamn Hemingway novel to figure out the simplest math problems. Are you shitting me? The answer is all that matters. Oh my God! No, you gotta. We have to have a new way of getting there. So my job is secure, so I can make everything insane to make it seem like this shit's so difficult that you need me. No, we don't need you, okay? I need you to grade my paper. That's about it. Oh my fucking God.
Apparently they should be allowed to give their entire diary of their existence to children because that's important.
Well, that's way more important than...
Here's what my marriage is like to my lesbian wife. Here's what,
this is what we were feeling. And somebody misgendered me the other day when I was at the Whole Foods market, and at the bonus Whole market. So let me explain to these little fucking third graders how, Jesus fucking Christ.
Because that's the only place they can find that anyone is forced to listen to them and shut up. A live audience. It's the only time they get that type of attention.
And they know kids. I mean, when I was a little kid, you looked up to your teacher. I idolized. I'm not saying that, but you thought that your teacher. Yeah, I did too. 100%. But you tend to think as your teachers as being not real people. That it's like, it's just somebody that's always here, and I show up and they're teaching. You don't look at them as like other, you know what I mean? But that's the way it should be, because they're just there to do a job. They're not there to fucking fulfill your feelings or your, you know what I mean? It's just, they can inspire you, but oh my God, all of that personal business has nothing to do with what the job that they've been contracted to do. None of that shit.
Response there. That's perfect, actually. I would never have thought of that response right there.
Wildly popular and socially acceptable.
Perfect.
Justin Trudeau on the right here. Yeah, 1922. I didn't know Justin Trudeau was that old. He loves blackface.
Wow. That's his daddy.
Yeah, there you go. And 2000, wildly popular and socially acceptable. That's crazy. Yeah. This is such an insult. Day of being a woman. No. I mean, how? Yeah, outrage celebrated. Blackface, woman face. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Except for they spelled woman wrong. It's supposed to be whammon.
Whammon. I mean, wham and yeah. I mean, it's just insanity. I have no problem with this Dylan dude, as long as he doesn't try to convince me that he's a female.
That's the one.
You're a man in a dress.
He's trying to do.
Yeah, he's
with
trying to tell me that I'm wrong.
Yeah, anyone that tries to change reality and force it down,
I have a problem with.
Happen.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
The people, when I stayed at the Ball State dorms, there were two dudes in that dorm on the floor above us that were cross dressers. They went to class as women. They dressed up like bosom buddies, you know.
Oh yeah, it was a show. I
yeah,
forgot about that show.
Remember?
That's
yeah,
funny.
Peter Scolari and Tom Hanks. Yeah, but they were, and somebody was trying to make that show a point about how we should accept this stuff, and I said no. They were purposely grifting to be able to live there because they couldn't afford, because the women got cheaper rent. That was the whole basis of the show, that they were fucking scamming, and that's what this dude is doing.
Women can't get cheaper rent. How dare you?
Well,
they're only
yeah.
They only have negatives in life. They don't have any positives.
Yeah, their life is so hard. It's the hardest job in the world. Oh, geez. Give me a break. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just don't. Like I said, I have no problem with him just dressing and acting like this, as it's
sure. I don't care.
That's your thing. People do stupid shit. But don't try to tell me that I'm somehow fucking some terrible person because I don't believe you're actually a biological female, that you transitioned. No. You're the terrible person for trying to convince people that's reality. Yep. And you can, but it becomes target of hate speech. No. I'm going to read. Ooh, that went from dark mode to light real quick. You're not the target of hate speech. People tell me fucking objective reality is hatred. I no. She was trying to. Coley said in an interview that he was trying to concentrate on the good. Look, I have no problem. It's very convincing. Very convincing. I have no problem. But it is not that's not a female. The event is supposed to be for biological females, if I'm understanding. They might need to change the wording on that. My trans story. There's no such thing as a trans. Sorry. You can't you can't genetically transition. It's not possible. This guy did not transition to a black guy. He slapped fucking a bunch of shoe polish on his face or whatever that is. He didn't transition to anything. Imagine living in a country where the most beautiful woman is a man. Yeah, well, it's not a man. Sorry. Miss Overbite wins by a nose. Yeah, my whole point was, if they're going to do the pageant that way, then they need to rename the pageant. That's Universe Person. That's not Miss Universe. That's Universe Person. Men can enter this event. It's for biological. It's an open event. But they're not claiming that. They want to claim that it's for the women and for the... Sorry, not sorry. And then my comments on the responses I get on Twitter are, I'm some terrible person.
Well, I mean,
I am, but, they're not wrong on that.
The point is, you're not the point.
Right.
The point of the article is the article itself. It's not whether or not it's that person. They're terrible.
Right. But if they shouldn't allow that. I have no problem if you have some open event where, you can cosplay, and any man that tries to dress up and look like a female can come in, and we'll judge you like that. But you're supposed to be judging those pageants are stupid anyway, in my opinion. But at least give the bonus hole something. That they can brag about, how beautiful they are or whatever, It's all a narcissistic horseshit anyway. But at least stick to the bylines of what it's originally supposed to be.
I like what that one woman from Texas was like, hey, we're losing our liberties here, whatever. And you're letting men go ahead and just do this to us. And you call it the right, whatever she said, you know,
right.
It was pretty, you know, I may not agree with her fight or whatever. Doesn't matter. At least she's fighting for what she believes in. And she's actually a woman.
Right. Exactly.
And she's not wrong. I've been joking about it. I was like, we are men. This is how dominant men are. We're so dominant.
We are so dominant
win
of the two sexes. It'll
everything.
Right. Once the AI gets strong enough and we can get the human-like cybernetics together, it's in game for women. Oh, bye. Yeah. Bye, bonus holes.
I mean, dudes stop. You know, a lot of dudes that used to be dating. You know, I watch all those things are not doing that anymore.
Yeah, they walk away.
Screwed over by you know, not having their children, no matter how good their lives are comparatively.
Did you hear about Kevin Costner?
Oh God, no.
Well, he had a prenuptial. He just went through the divorce. No, they fucking threw the prenup out.
Of course it didn't matter.
You know what he's got to pay now? A month to this bitch.
Like
$120,000 a month.
I knew it.
Now no, there's more. There's more. Listen to what the prenup said.
Might as well just kill himself, right?
The prenuptial specified that she would get $50,000 a month. That wasn't good enough for her.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
So she went, and now she's getting $120,000 a month.
50 a month.
Mm-hmm. I don't care who you are.
600,000 a year.
You better be Elon Musk, breathing. Bill Gates, or the top 10. Kevin Costner isn't in the top 50 richest men in the world. I've got news for you.
$600K for breathing.
That's gonna hurt.
$600K for breathing air.
Plus, you know, she got all the property split, all the assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, $120,000 a month, dude.
Would you just like dissolve as many assets as quickly as possible and just leave the country?
Yeah, I would be homeless. I would purposely.
I would dissolve as many assets.
Yes,
as possible.
100%.
I would leave to like Thailand or something like that,
and get out and liquidate as much as you can.
The government there to keep you in place so they won't ever,
expedite you. Exactly, 100%. You're thinking along my lines.
South America. You know, just hire a crime cartel to take care of your estate and
don't pay that bitch one dime. But there's children involved, of course. There's children involved.
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, you could leave money for the kids. You know, here's the bank account with that, and I'm gone.
Well, these are supposedly.
She screws over the bank account. Well, hey, you did your job.
Yeah, you could just leave them a lump. Yeah, leave them some kind of lump sum, and then
they'll be better off than most kids.
Right.
Most kids don't get like, I don't know how many kids he had, but give them $100,000 a piece. You know,
had a couple kids with her, and supposedly they have to be in the lifestyle that you better adapt.
Kids adapt to things that don't matter.
That's crazy.
100,000 per kid. If there's 2 kids, great. That's $200K. What other kid grew up with $200K just waiting for them at 21? You know, I mean, they were kids, but outside of that,
yeah, they were used to. They were used to flying on private jets and being on a yacht.
Spoiled, then it doesn't even matter at that point. You still did your job.
Right.
My thing was like, what you should do is just, if a man really wants kids, he should go and you could do that. Women do it, get the artificial whatever, you get eggs or whatever, get your sperm, and you can raise your own kids. Why even bother with the woman?
That's what I'm saying. Have a surrogate birth, find some bonus hole to get some fertilized eggs in her, and then have a surrogate, and then you're off scot free. Yeah. If you were a high value man that had a lot of financial, there's no way
your family line.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
Because what's the reality? We're here to continue humanity. That's all we're here to do.
Right.
Everything else is gravy.
Why would you put yourself through all this nonsense?
Just adapt and overcome.
$120,000 a month, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
crazy.
God.
I'll be like, dude, even 10K a month. Just 10K a month.
That's
It's
insanity.
120 a year, and people.
Well, for him, that's probably nothing. You know what I
that's
mean?
nothing
But
for him.
yeah.
But for average person,
Oh yeah.
people, there's a lot of people that would be like, okay, that's what you need now. People actually say you need about 100,000 to be like middle class.
Right.
To me, I grew up so
Depends
poor,
on where
I can't even conceive
depends on
that.
where you live. I mean, it's all where you live.
Oh, very relative.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
100,000 in New York, you might as well be homeless. I mean,
That's
you might as well.
That's why I get a lot of work from the West Coast, because it's so expensive for them to hire over there.
Right. Right.
Me as a freelancer,
They're
the
looking for
downside is
cheaper options. Yeah.
the people that undercut me are, you guessed it, Indian, Chinese.
Yes.
So, and the only people that, then what happens is the people that get burned by that stuff, or that are smart enough to realize what they did, then they come back. So I always get the people that have been burned,
Some of the return. Yeah. Some of the,
Yeah. I'm like a rehabilitator.
Yeah. They should have been loyal. They should have been loyal and not went for the cheaper.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, that's why when I do my online, so I put like that I'm from Texas, so people, know. Oh, okay, not Indian.
Ah, yeah. I'm a POC.
POC. No, I don't say that. I don't want people to think that it's going to be. No. I actually leave any type of.
Right.
I don't put my.
You don't put your pronouns in your bio.
I don't put anything. No.
You don't put that you're a vegan?
I could go fuck yourself. I can speak, or I can type at least complete sentences with proper punctuation and use good grammar.
Well, that makes one of us.
People
I
just
can't
immediately assume that I'm a white guy, just immediately. And if that works for me, with what I do, great. I
understand.
Think I care? Yeah.
You don't give a shit. Yeah.
And I would rather not have any connotation one way or the other. Because to me, I've never seen any benefit from being my heritage, because I don't think I think it's all stratosphere type stuff. It's way up there where that stuff matters,
Right.
On the ground level, people don't give a shit. They really don't care.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's more of an elite type attitude where they want to be able to look down. It's just a reminder, that they feel like there's those elites feel like there's some sort of savior.
Look what I did. I gave a POC a job.
Yeah, look how diverse.
God, I need that.
Look how diverse my company is, because I'm an elite and I can. These people need my help.
I need a give a POC a job day. I need
give
that.
a POC a job. Here's one I wanted to look at. I've been reading some of this Alpha Fox. He's got 114,000 followers, but he comes up with some funny shit. Ever put propane in your tires? And I'm like, there's no way they're putting propane in their tires. There's no way. Does that work?
I mean, as long as it doesn't get punctured,
I guess
fine.
That's true. But would you pay? I mean, it's a little bit more expensive to put propane in your tires, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming he's doing this because he has money. Isn't that a Tesla?
I think they don't know it's propane.
How are you?
I know you can't hear it, but
it looks like they know it's propane. There's a propane tank.
What are you doing with that?
We're trying to figure out how to put gas in the car.
It definitely looks like it's propane.
Can you help me instead of taking video?
Do you know what that is?
No. What is it?
they don't know what it is.
propane.
Oh, right there.
Oh, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know it was propane. They thought it was air. They thought it was the air tank. So they're putting propane in their tires.
You got a freaking thing right next to it. Oh my.
This does not surprise me. I've seen
Thank you for letting us
Well,
know.
when you got the
yeah. I
bonus
thought you were
hole
kind of.
helping,
I've seen some people, if it's not like, if there's not a big 8x10 sign that says propane, they just
you got
kind of,
Joe Biden and his daughter there. So
yeah, pretty much.
his bonus hole.
I've
daughter.
seen some people do some stupid shit, like here in this town. And so, yeah, it does it. Winner of the Darwin Awards.
That's definitely a Biden award.
This is why low info people have no business having high priced things. Well, it's, Give them a minute. That's a Tesla. Oh, but they've got a Tesla. They've got a Tesla, but they're not smart enough to figure out you don't put propane in tires. Oh, well. That's funny. I guess it probably would work. I don't know if it would explode if you, I don't know.
I think if the circumstances are right, it would probably just burn. Yeah.
Right. I
mean,
never
it's
thought
under
about putting propane. Yeah, if there's enough pressure in there, then it'll
It's under pressure,
inflate
so
your
depending
tire.
on-
Yeah.
Depending on the hole and if any spark happens, yeah, it could burn
Right.
or blow. Yeah.
I knew the Hank Hill stuff would come in.
All right.
Propane, Bobby.
Yeah.
What a waste.
I never watched that show. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, maybe. Parts of them.
Oh, I love
I thought it
that
was
show.
weird. Yeah.
It is
was just
weird.
for me.
It is.
Yeah.
I like Mike Judge stuff a lot. Not all of his stuff, but the majority of it. When I first watched that show, I didn't like it when it first came on in like
Well, it just
1995.
Looked bad, and I don't like things that look like that.
See,
So-
I kind of do. I mean, it just depends. But then I got watching it a couple episodes into it, and I was like, this show's not. And then I fucking couldn't. Then it was just hilarious to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably get it now.
It's a lot of inside jokes and shit,
Exactly. Yeah. It's what you
Vidya.
call white people humor. You
Yeah,
know.
video games.
Yeah.
Did you hear this one? This lady, or girl or who?
Bonus hole.
Yeah, TikToker claims to suffer from time blindness
I did.
and blasts employers who make employees come in on time.
I just can't take it as being a serious video. Number
That
one,
can't be.
she has to know.
She's
that
got to
this
be
is
trolling.
bullshit.
It's got to be
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a thing now that people having bad takes. They do their bad takes video. Like they say the most ridiculous shit. And they're not claiming it's a parody. It's just bad takes. It's got to be. It's
what I
got to be
hate
the
is-
case here.
What I hate is like the first comment where somebody tries to, well, actually, how about go fucking die in a hole? How about actually that? What she's describing
being-
isn't a dying, but it does exist. No, go kill
No,
yourself.
it doesn't exist.
Fucking
It's some
idiot.
more made up psychological bullshit. So some fucking stupid blue haired weirdo coming out of liberal arts college can have a fucking job. Can say that they're
Neurodevelopmental
important.
Disorders that certain memories. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut
Guess
the
what?
fuck up.
I guarantee many people have this supposed condition, and you adapt.
Here's
know
the
why?
here's the
You gotta
condition.
go to work, and you gotta get money, and no one cares.
Right.
It
But-
doesn't matter.
But here's the condition she's got, Janzer. She doesn't give a fuck and really doesn't want to
Yeah.
work.
Well,
That's
she's
the
20
condition.
2021.
Yeah. She thinks
probably
she's
works
owed
retail.
something that she doesn't need to work for. Yeah.
She probably works retail. And so all
Right.
the sympathy people have for retail workers where they're like, oh, they need to pay them more, blah, blah. I'm telling you what, and I said it before on the other stream, I work retail for years. People I'd say 99% of the people that work retail don't want to be there, number one, when they're working.
Right.
Number two, they want more hours. At the same time, they don't want to work and they'll
Right.
fall off anytime, right? So it's a dichotomy of like, I want the money, but I don't want to be there. And then they want more money too. And then they want paid vacation and all that other shit too, sick time and all that. But they don't
yeah.
want to be there.
But they
don't wanna
really
work.
don't want to do it.
And
yeah.
their work
They're
sucks.
miserable when they're there. And yeah, their work
Dude,
shows
when I
it.
got into retail, I had been working for like with my stepdad and on my own for years doing yard work and all that type of stuff, right?
Mhm.
So I got in and I'm like stocking and I'm like a dude from the 50s or something. Yes, sir. Got to clean this, sir. I'm gonna wipe these down, sir. I'm gonna put these over here, and
Because you were probably
I'm doing
sick
all
of doing
this-
yard work all
No,
day.
I wasn't. I love yard work. Yard work is one of the most freeing things because you're your own employee.
I do love.
You're your own.
I don't mind
employer.
doing yard work, especially when I'm
No,
paid for
You
it.
set
Yeah.
your own time.
Right.
You have your own equipment.
Right.
You're the one that expenses everything, and so you make all the profit. And then,
Right.
and back then there was almost nothing. Plus, you could didn't even have to report it. You know.
But some
I
people
mean,
don't like
it's
working
cash.
outside, and they
Well,
they
that's
get
their
an
fault.
inside job, and then they realize just how miserable these people just don't want to work. She
Well, the
just
reality
doesn't
is-
want to work.
It's not even about wanting to work on site. It's like what you just said right now. They don't want to work.
Yeah. Period.
And
So
they realize that they just, and even worse, you know what? They can't adapt to it. It's not that I didn't like doing yard work when I was a kid, but I learned over time how amazingly freeing it was to be your own boss. That was the biggest thing. Being your own boss there's nothing better than that. Nothing. Because you deal with everything. You get to decide.
right.
And if you can't handle that, then you just are a lazy piece of shit.
Right.
So, you know,
Time blindness is the difficulty
No.
and inability to sense the passing of time. No, it's not. It's not giving a shit if you're late because you don't really want to be. You didn't want to go there in the first place, so you don't give a shit if you're late or not because you're too
And
wrapped up in your own fucking horse shit.
it's people like that that give these other people some kind of an excuse.
Yeah. It's a common symptom in people diagnosed with neurodevelopment. No, you've made up some horse shit there. It is not a common symptom in people diagnosed with it. Now, there are people that their brains just don't work and they don't understand the concept of time. That is
Right.
not, but that's the people that can't even take care of themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a actual neurodevelopment disorder. This lady, this girl here just doesn't want to go to work. So she doesn't give a shit. She's trying to get fired. Let's put it that way, and then cry victim. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But-
But William Gissy, he nails it, of course.
Time blindness is a term for being irresponsible. Yeah, that's all it is. It's
That's it.
yeah.
Done.
That's
nothing
it,
else. The
done.
one below is another one of these useless. Oh, it's autism. Where did this woman say she had autism and ADHD?
No, it's not
They're bringing their
autism.
own causes and trying
Yeah.
to. They're trying to be somebody. She's trying to be somebody on Twitter. These comments are so cool. No, they're not.
We've
They're
got
comments.
I work in the same department as a guy that has autism. He's a hell of a worker. He works all day. Sometimes he'll just laugh out loud, real loud, out of the blue, like the Joker. I'm like, oh boy.
Because he's probably crazy.
Yeah, he's a little nutty, but he
Probably
just
nothing to
he
do
runs
with
around like a
autism.
fucking
He probably is
chicken.
crazy.
Yeah, he shows up every day. He would work all day long, and he likes things in his little order over there. But he's a hell of a worker. You know, he'd work double shifts if he could. I've never seen him miss ever. So yeah, you know, quit trying to blame it. Look at this horse shit. Emphasis.
No.
Seeing time as a commodity is an expression of whiteness. The fuck are you talking about?
That guy's trolling.
Yeah, yeah. Time blindness is a symptom of ADHD. No,
Shut up.
no. Shut up. ADHD.
Just look at the name.
I bleach.
Come on.
Yeah.
Why is anyone going to take that seriously
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form?
Time is man-made. Never forget that. If people put a time on life, then put a timetable on life, then no one be working. I don't
You
get it.
can't make basic sentences, but you want us to take you
Right.
seriously. I hate when people try to ghetto up their language because they think that they're trying to fit in with social
Right.
culture.
Right.
I hate it.
I absolutely
I
hate
do
it.
it if I want to make fun of something, like I'm making fun of something, and I'll do it. You know.
Time, but so I would have, like, I put in my comments, well, I'd have payroll blindness. And
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
else actually said that as well. I said, I'd have payroll. You're just not getting paid. Yeah, darn my neurodevelopmental problems that I have that I just can't turn in your fucking payroll slip to payroll. So I just, there's something that stops me from turning it in. It's some sort of ailment I have. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't punish me for that.
You just can't. Yeah, you can't. If you can't be punished for that, yeah, I'm sure she'd be singing a different tune if somebody else was late on something. Let me tell you, that's the same
was like-
people. Yeah,
That was like this one boss in a movie. Oh, I just forget faces. I don't even know who you. I don't remember. I don't think I've seen you before. Something like that. Yeah. You're my employee. I didn't know that.
I just forget faces.
Oh, hair. Oh.
Oh, this is a good. I watched this video earlier. What she's saying is she's making fun of conservative
I don't
men.
care what you're Iraqi.
Yeah, well, I was looking at Iraq too, but no, she's crazy.
She's crazy. You're
not
right.
here.
When she's doing that,
She's a bonus hole.
you're crazy. You got nothing better to do with yourself but to make stupid videos. And, okay, I mean, I do too, but
Okay, her argument, her old video point, she's mimicking. She's mimicking a conservative guy saying that she's tired of conservative men using the excuse that their politics are stopping them from getting laid. I've never heard a conservative man ever say that, boy, the women I go after just aren't attracted to my, my Second Amendment, beer drinking, conservatism. No, what they do is they ignore crazy women like you, and they go after the women that do like that kind of stuff. That's what conservative men do. Conservative men aren't getting laid because they're conservative.
Here's the thing. I don't really know what dudes say to women about that stuff because I'm not dating dudes. But I do know that when I was on these dating apps back in my 30s, women often had, if you like Trump or if you're right, if you're Republican, all that kind of crap.
I understand that. But you're not going to hear that from a man. A man's not going to go, a man's not going to sit there and whine and cry, well, these women that don't like Trump I'm not getting laid by these women that don't like my politics. Conservative men aren't complaining about that. They just say, well, I don't want anything to do with you anyway, you crazy bonus hole. I would rather just they go after the women. They simply don't complain. They go after women that do like that stuff. Problem solved. So she's making some shit up here. It's not a thing. All right. Conservative men aren't complaining about getting laid from crazy women. Sorry.
Yeah, they're abundant. So
they're like, would not. But my ex-wife, we didn't align politically. We didn't. She tried to, she hijacked my Facebook. Long time ago, 10, 11, 12 years ago, she hijacked my Facebook when it was first coming and got on there on my account and started putting a bunch of fucking liberal shit on there that I didn't. Funny. And at the same time, she would put religious stuff on there too. I had a girl.
I would have laughed at it.
Oh, I did. I had a woman at Whirlpool say that she wouldn't go out with me because what was posted on my Facebook page, because she looked me up on Facebook and she goes, oh, you're a conservative nut. You're a religious nut. And I'm like, no, my wife put that on my Facebook page to keep women away. So I wouldn't have any girls that I would, she would purposely put stupid shit on my Facebook page just in case there was some other girl that looked at my Facebook page. I'm not saying there was a lot of women looking at but there were some that would look and try to ask me a friend request on Facebook, and my wife hated that. My wife got insanely jealous when another girl, especially at work, would ask me for a friend request. So she purposely went crazy on my fucking Facebook. She'd log on to my Facebook and fucking type a bunch of stupid shit. And I had a couple friends from high school unfollow me because of the shit my wife put on my account, which I didn't really care, Had to unfriend me.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, if you can get along with somebody or attracted to somebody and you can make a marriage work, you can have differences. My mom and dad don't align. They used to align politically, but they don't anymore. But they're in their 80s now, too. So, my mom and dad used to align politically to a certain extent. Oh, boy, my mom, not anymore. My mom's gone full fucking leftist. I don't get it.
Yeah, but she's old.
Yeah, she's...
you can't even... My grandma changed a lot. I've changed. I'm sure my mom's going to change. You just change when you get older and old, and especially when you're very, very old. My grandma was to the point where she just... I don't know. The brain changes, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
sent you- I
crazy.
tagged you on something.
Oh yeah. Let me look at it. Telly Savalas and Clint Eastwood right there, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. It's so simple.
My
Your
generation will
can
decide the future. Your generation can't decide if I've seen this before. Actually, I've seen this meme before. Yeah, it's good.
So my problem is I don't spend enough time on social media looking at stuff randomly.
Well, no, I've seen this same exact thing, but it wasn't Eastwood and Savalas down here from the
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Kelly's
If I spent more
Heroes.
time, I would see.
Right.
I would have seen
It was a different meme with the same exact words, you know.
Yeah.
And
You're
her.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My generation will decide the future. No. Your generation is fucking, for one, you're not, you got to remember this girl, woman or whatever now, she's 19 now or 20 or whatever. She does not think for herself. She cannot think for herself. So she's being
child abuse.
Yeah. Her mother is an
not
opera
anymore, now she's an
singer.
adult. Yeah.
But her mother's an opera singer, and she's got all these progressive views, and she's filled her daughter and getting the sympathy because she's got that. She's actually is retarded. This kid, you know, she's mentally. No, she is. She's mentally. Like,
I don't know anything about
you
that.
couldn't leave her by herself.
I think it's
like
funny.
she needs a caregiver. She can't exist by herself. She wouldn't know how to pay her bills or get car insurance or drive a
Except for all the child
car.
abuse.
She couldn't. Yeah, so she's gonna
Probably
be.
can learn. It just doesn't
So-
have the ability, like
Yeah.
like what they're doing to American children in public schools is
Yep.
they stop giving them the ability to
Thug
learn
hater
how to
hood.
think. Learn
Yep.
how to think. Yeah, don't think for yourself. Just here's what we're telling you.
Yes.
Yep. That's a tale as old as time, though. Well, the warnings are there for a reason, you know.
Right.
So
But yeah,
Yeah.
she can't. Like, why would I listen to my generation? Well, no, you can't even. This Greta girl is not ever going to be self-reliant. You couldn't. She'll never have her own house, or she probably doesn't understand the concept of paying bills. Yeah, I mean, like you know, they would. You know, her mail would probably just stack up, and she would just put them. I mean, she has to have a handler. She has to have somebody guiding her life. This isn't me talking. This is actual reality. This is what they've said. She's
I mean,
she's permanently reliant on somebody else. You know.
It's like Biden right now. It's like in exchange for being taken care of. I'm not making a joke.
Right.
In exchange for being taken care of the rest of your life, all you have to do is what we say.
Well, yeah,
And if you
100%.
agree with him, he
Yeah.
thinks he's doing what he wants to do.
No, he's
So,
not. He's just parroting.
I think he does think he's doing what he wants to do, but really it's in.
No, he's a
whatever they
puppet.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
At this
But
point.
in order to get that level of complicity, you have to believe that what you're doing is what you want, you know?
Right.
So I think that is their functionality wise in the brain. With the others, he would put up more of a fight or he would go way more off script, you know? But every time he goes off script, he just says something terrible about himself. So
Right. Or something's just
You know?
ludicrous or he
So
has a
like a
gaff.
pedophile.
They call him the king of the gaffs because he really doesn't know much himself at all.
see, every time Trump went off script, it was always him being a big baller or something like, yeah, the biggest,
A
that's right,
bragger.
we're the best.
Yeah, he's
We're the
bragging.
best.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That's all he knows is bragging up his brand. That's
And it was funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
I have
it
no
wasn't
problem
the
with that.
worst.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think it was very presidential. I do agree with that personally. Like, I would love a return to, you know, kind of some more, I don't know,
a little dignity, a little more
Right,
humility. Right.
But our society has changed overall.
Right.
So we don't even have the old school. People cry about having old school Hollywood actors and actresses being like they were in the past. It's never going to happen again.
Never going to happen
just-
again. They're
same thing with
classless
the-
now. Yeah. The politicians are the same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
You'd have to have a
honor.
generation raised with honor
Yeah.
and dignity for something to
Yeah,
happen.
that's
like
gone.
that.
Yeah,
It's not-
Biden's not honorable. Biden's not. I mean, he's not dignified. When I see him come out there, I don't feel proud or I don't have the sense of honor or anything. At least when Ronald Reagan came out, you know, you had a sense of somebody, and I'm not saying he's perfect, but at least you know.
Reagan, you know, I know people love criticizing him. I heard a lot of that stuff too, and I had wrote no opinion. I probably had a little bit of a negative one, although my memory of him as a kid wasn't really negative, honestly. I thought he was a good president. I had no idea. I was a kid.
Well, they called him the
But-
great communicator. That was his, because he could
Well,
get
here's
his
one of the
point
things-
across very,
Here-
you know.
Yeah, here's one of the things I found out. People always blame like shutting down the mental institutions on him, but that wasn't him. That happened during his presidency, of course. But as we know, presidents literally don't do everything.
Right.
You know, you have to look into. It was the administration that handled that, but that wasn't exactly him. So
Right.
he didn't come forward and say we need to show up. Plus, the reasoning behind it was once again compassion and hey, look at all the injustices and everything being done inside of these facilities. So rather than shutting them down, they probably should have, you know, spent the money to revamp them. But you know, hey, money, we don't want to do that.
Right.
Rather send it, you know, somewhere else or in our pocketbooks.
And Reagan
So,
was a little bit of a puppet as well, as the
come
years
on.
went by. I mean, every president it is.
Who's
Let's
gonna
not.
be in a position of power and
Right.
is not going to be pulled left and right.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But now,
Even if you agree with what's being said, people are going to say, "Well, you're being a puppet towards," you know.
but do you actually believe Joe Biden, in his heart, after listening to some of the stuff he said in the late 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, actually believes any of the crap that he's talking about? No. You know, this is way more, this ridiculous this is all the agenda that he's been swept. He has no choice but to comply with this stuff. He personally is a racist. You know he is. You can hear in the
I
past the
don't
way he's
care.
talk, and I don't
I
care
actually
either.
Don't
Yeah.
think it has any relevancy over anything right now, because I think a person in that level of power that may have that personal viewpoint, you have too many checks and balances anyway to overrun. And what's he going to do? Like, and plus, it's such a low level that we don't actually see any of it. I don't care.
Right.
It's such a waste of time talking about that stuff right now. You know, the
Yep.
bigger thing is he's just not fit for doing the job.
He's not.
Period.
He can't
You don't even
speak on
need to
his
talk about
own.
personal issues. You know.
Yeah.
But
He,
if we
he
want
can't
to,
walk
let's look
up
at
a
the
flight
state
of
his own
stairs for
family.
crying out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, if we want to, let's just look at the state of his own family and what a mess that is.
Oh,
And look how
yeah.
quickly they covered up the whole cocaine in the White House thing. There's nothing going on here.
Oh, yeah.
They want to talk shit about. Oh my god! I just made the impression of him, and I can't remember. My brain is fucking cheese.
Hunter.
No. Oh well, go on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Jesus Christ! I can't. I just blanked out. So I'm getting phone calls, and I don't want
that's-
to talk to these people.
That's
because
all right.
I stopped going to these. I didn't go to the meeting today.
Oh,
So now
no.
people are like, whoa. Like, you know what? Y'all
You didn't go to
haven't
the
done shit for me.
meeting? Why not?
You know, y'all haven't done anything for me. It's our local stuff. I've gotten what I needed. I've learned what you can do. You're full of shit. Y'all keep going in circles. So I'm not bothering putting my time into this stuff. I can do what I know what I need to do. I got contacts, whatever. That's
It's
it.
like that
Anyway,
it's the Rick Springfield song. I've done
What's that?
everything for you. You've done nothing for me. Have you ever heard that song? That's how you're explaining
Probably.
it. Yeah. I've done everything
Probably.
for you and you've done nothing for me. That's a famous
I-
Rick Springfield song.
I didn't go looking for that. You need to do for me, but it's kind of reciprocity. Type
Well,
of
of
thing, right?
course. Yeah.
After
That's
a
what I'm
year of
talking
going
about.
this
Yeah.
stuff, you know, it's like, wait a second.
You,
tired
finally,
of
you're
this.
realizing, okay, maybe
No.
now I'm wasting my time just a little
I'm
bit.
not realizing anything.
Yeah.
It's just seeing the data. You know, I
Right.
you know, it's not like I didn't think that. I needed to go and put in, and you know, it just maybe it is realizing. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Well, I'm just
I'll say
saying.
it is.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
no,
you
no,
just
you're
came
right.
to the realization, but
It's not
it-
like I was blind to understanding.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I don't like about that idea of using that phrase. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The president I was talking about was Nixon. People
Nixon.
talk terribly about Nixon, but I think
I'm
Nixon
not a
actually
crook.
did a pretty good job while he was there. If you look past the one thing that everybody is always on about, like I'm the whole,
Watergate Hotel.
Watergate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to look at the rest of the presidency as well. But like any president in office, you're going to find something like that's the worst and just point that out.
Yeah.
So, but you have to look at the entire track record. It's just, they want to blame the drug thing on, he brought drugs to the street. No, he didn't. Black people brought drugs to their own streets.
Right.
No white man's going to go in there and
Right.
start spraying. They ain't going to trust him.
Right.
They're going to kill a guy. And first off, there were plenty of black heroin dealers from way back, 20s, from
Right.
the 20s.
Right.
I know. I looked it up.
Yep.
It's not that hard.
They're not.
No longer can we live in ignorance.
They were
when
not
we have
rejecting.
information.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Those areas where a lot of black people were living weren't rejecting those notions. They act like, oh, the
Johnson,
crack,
that's an easy one.
the crack epidemic. No, it wasn't an epidemic. It was just and nobody was rejecting it. Very few people were rejecting the notion of getting, buying crack and giving your life up to drug addiction. They weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't all rejecting that stuff, and it just forced its way in. That's not what happened. No, they said, "Come on in with the crack." Yeah.
Yeah, opioid use was a huge thing. Cocaine
Right.
was all this stuff was already, addiction in general
Exactly.
was there.
They act like they
ridiculous.
resisted it, like it was some white man in a plane that flew into their neighborhood and dropped it
That's
all
the
off
most-
and forced everyone to fucking light their crack pipes up. No.
And that is a believed thing that crack was literally dropped in by planes. They even make jokes of it in these blaxploitation movies that I've seen, where they're like, "Oh, they dropped crack in there. They dropped liquor stores in. They dropped 40s in. Look at this.
Y'all
It's a crate full of
innovated.
40s."
Y'all fucking innovated that addiction. Y'all came up with the way to sell it even more of it cheaper so you can make more money. You can make it last longer. You know what I mean? Instead of
My
snorting
point
it.
is that even black people were making fun of it in blaxploitation movies.
Right.
Look how ridiculous it is. You really think they flew in crates of this stuff and dropped it? Are you really think this? Because
What?
people really do say and they really do believe it. you know?
Right.
So
And-
it's the most insane thing.
It's an epidemic. Nah, y'all fucking welcomed it with open arms. Y'all sought it. You all went after it. Okay?
Yeah.
You were
Any
looking.
community, and I go through any community.
Right. That gets swept up like that. I'm not even. I'm just not picking on that. I'm talking about around here. There's a meth. There's meth problem basically any state you go to in the United States right now. But people aren't rejecting that.
Pills, remember?
Yeah, people OxyContin. Now it's or whatever. It was something else, and now it's OxyContin. 100%. And meth.
So what, did the government fly in OxyContin crates? And
Right. No one's rejecting that. Addiction is big money. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I love how they act like, oh, it's the white man. They did that in that movie, Boys in the Hood. He was lecturing those two kids out there about gentrification and all that. Go fuck yourself,
This is
man.
why when I talk about stuff about my upbringing and stuff that affected me as a minority or whatever, which I'm a majority now. Thank you very much.
You're a
Thank you very
majority.
much.
Yep.
I accept my belt, my title. I accept it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
brother.
that the media is actually really complicit in pushing this narrative of political viewpoint to keep people generationally thinking that I am the victim.
Right.
I used to not think
There's
that
big
way
money in that.
until I started seeing, wait a second, but all these movies would say the same thing.
Yep.
Why would they paint this picture of
It's a
but
formula.
Hollywood and mainstream media's idea was that, but it's Hollywood's actually depicting minorities as being criminals and whatever. And I was like, yeah, why? Why are they the ones that are constantly pushing this viewpoint that that's what we're supposed to be?
Right.
Y'all are the ones that are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of society, we're not. You got to pick up, but you're just reinforcing the narrative. Real life isn't enforcing that. It's because I didn't. I had that fear because of movies and TV.
Right.
My neighborhood, nobody really was like, oh man, the cop's going to get, nobody really cared. They were just doing whatever they're doing.
Right.
It's kind of like we said, criminals are going to do and live their life however they want.
Propaganda. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just doing what they're doing,
Right.
So it's just, this propaganda. It's
Yeah.
just forcing of this political narrative
Yep.
of how do you treat a certain people to keep them voting for you.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Yep, big time. Probably. Here's another thing you posted. Interestingly enough, I was looking at this earlier on Twitter, but not. It was a different take. But Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions. First pictures of new live-action remake of Disney classic show. Princess walking with diverse band of merry men and women after row over using dwarf actors. So they didn't want to offend dwarf actors anymore, right? By stereotyping them as actual dwarves in the fictional story. So they're, well, we're not going to, I just don't get it. It's like Inception level fucking ludicrous.
And this is a comedy. This is literally a comedy. If
Snow White diversity nightmare Rex. And
if the Babylon Bee could make a movie, it would be this movie.
Would be this movie. 100%. Yeah, you can't even tell the fucking parody anymore from the actual insanity. And that Ed Cranstein guy that gets paid to shill for the Democrats on Twitter, that's his job, is to post on all day, and he gets paid ad revenue.
Nice.
He goes, oh, well, imagine being this upset over having diverse Snow White and the 7 dwarves as being diverse. And I said, no, imagine the initial outrage that people were outraged that Snow White was white and that they may hire dwarf actors to play actual dwarfs. And because of representation, you're outraged. You're not being represented, when you're a minority anyway. So that was the initial outrage. Tell him to get a life, because he was telling everybody that's mad about the diversity of this to get a life. There's more important issues in the world. I said, yeah, why didn't you tell the people that initially pushed for this horse shit the same exact thing? We got bigger problems than Snow White being white and hiring dwarves as actual dwarves in the fucking story, you dummy. God, man.
The problem is even trying to get on the level with this moron of fighting the fight that he's trying to fight.
Right.
Why even try to argue his point?
I don't know.
It's stupid in the first place. There's bigger, great. So you know what? That goes back down to, I had it worse than you. Everyone had a different experience. Shut up.
Right.
You don't need to post about anything.
Exactly.
The movie's going to fail, and that's what's going to be the reality.
Right.
So, and you're not going to blame anybody for being, look, I think it's stupid. Why would they make Snow White a Latina girl? It doesn't, what happened to Latinx? I thought she was Latinx.
Right.
You know, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's Inception level. They come up with so many rules that they can't even follow their own fucking rules. You know what I mean?
Now they're back to calling her a proper term that she probably wants to, that female Latinas want to be called, so
Snow White and the 7.
I don't even know anymore.
So what if Snow White was a white character? Who cares? It's got to be representation.
It's like making Odin Asian. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Right.
The story, the myth is not an Asian myth. Snow White's not a Hispanic myth.
Right.
Why are we
100%. That's what I'm saying.
Why don't we take since I was talking about Richie Valens, why don't we take his story and cast a black woman instead for Richie Valens?
Lizzo is the new Richie Valens.
Absolutely. I'm sure the family would love it.
She can sing La Bamba while she's eating she's eating a Big Mac or some shit. Yeah. Oh la 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 hamburger. Yeah. Yeah. Why? That's what I'm saying.
They just want to destroy everything. That's all it is. It's like, let's find something and destroy it.
They want to substitute. Everything has to be substituted. It's got to be.
It goes back to just
meat on the burger. No, we got to have plants on the burger. Okay, it's got to be a plant-based burger. We can't have meat on the burger. Why? Climate change and white supremacy. Yeah, that's it.
Control to redefining everything.
Right.
Like we said in the very beginning.
George Carlin.
When you have nothing to stand on, they will tell you, they will give you the rope.
Right.
You know, like
Exactly.
Here you go. Here's where you climb
Right.
up. Because
They
I
tell
have to
you nothing real. Yeah, nothing is real, and all of anything that came before is somehow needs to be changed, progressed, improved. It makes no sense. Snow
I'm gonna
White
make it-
is white. Big deal.
Yep.
Big deal.
I'm gonna make a joke that I actually really believe. A lot of the downfall started when they nailed Lance Armstrong for using steroids. He was a hero. You don't understand how much of a fucking American hero he
Right.
was. He was a fucking American
Right.
hero. And when they took him down, that was one of the biggest
Yes.
pieces of American like culture
Yes.
that was removed.
Yep.
You know? And
They-
that like opened the floodgates. Well, fuck everybody now. You know, let's go after the next one. We can take them all down. We can redefine what American means. Oh God.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that the Lance Armstrong thing is right on point because they don't look at what Lance Armstrong in reality did. Look how much money he raised. Now, I'm not saying that money actually goes to the cause it was raised for or whatever, but look how much awareness and money, if you just want to look at the final numbers, how many hundreds of millions of dollars was raised in the name of Lance Armstrong for medical research. Now I don't know if it actually went there, but that's beside the
It
point.
was all a game anyway.
Right.
Like, all of that. What
Right.
country can do the best in
Do I
getting this
care
stuff
if
to
he
run the
was
system?
do I care if he was transfusing his blood before races with oxygenated blood? I really don't care. Everyone was doing it.
Right.
Everybody was doing it. So
As it turns out.
yeah, as it turns out,
It took
the
a while,
doping was
though.
running wild in but he didn't invent that. They were
Right.
10 years prior to that when he started. He knew he was being told that there were people doing that, and he couldn't compete with them. He couldn't climb like they could on the big hills and everything. He wasn't successful. He came out of nowhere, but everyone all of a sudden, well, let's go ahead and just attach ourselves to this guy. And what's he supposed to do? He's going to try to. He knows he's doing all that. Everyone
It's going to be the
Yeah.
Rocky scene with Adrian when she wakes up. Win, Rock.
When, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
But
But
he's like, you got it.
yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. He ran with it. I think he did noble thing by running with it. He didn't have to do that stuff. But
And
look
the-
what he
the-
did.
The team ran with it. Let's just put
The
this
team
straightforward here.
exactly.
Trying to pin him for everything is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And then where are the other teams and the other countries? And it just doesn't.
they love
yeah.
to bring down, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not
absolutely.
I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying,
I am.
but in
I
a
was saying,
way,
what's the
in a
point? I
way,
don't
the
care.
results are, I look at him. Do I think he's a little bit of an asshole? Yeah. I mean, yeah, he comes off a little bit as an asshole. And yeah, he got way too defensive when they started pushing it, like saying, oh, at first he was dismissive. He ignored it. He was
Sure.
dismissive. But then he started buckling under the investigations going on and the
Well,
constant
it was really
probing.
because his teammate was pissed off. That's the
Yeah,
only real reason.
Floyd Landis. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
that's
Yeah,
the only, he would have been fine if not had been for that.
right.
But I mean, as far as the asshole thing, so what? We've talked about this.
Who
before.
cares? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Many
That doesn't
people
bother
that
me.
That have pushed their way to the top, that have literally fought their way to the top.
They
You
hurt some
gotta have
feelings
that
along the
experience.
way. Yeah,
you gotta be a fucking.
you have to
brawler.
be like that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
You have time
don't.
for everybody's feelings.
It doesn't. I still look at Lance Armstrong. I mean, I'm not a big Tour de France fan or anything. I like it. I've followed it since Greg LeMond and all that shit. Back in
Right.
the '80s. But
Oh,
it really doesn't matter. they're the ones that want to prop people up. I never prop
yes.
athletes up to a stellar level just so I can be shocked when they come back down and they're human and they have frailties and they cheat and they cut corners. Yeah. Tiger Woods, I don't care who quit putting people on pedestals. Problem solved. Tiger Woods is a pussy hound. Big deal. I like the way he drives the golf ball. I like watching him play golf. He's really good at it. Why do I care? Quit putting this fake moral aptitude on people. I'm so sick
Jordan,
of it.
Everybody is like,
he's nasty and look what he did. Who cares? He won 6. I mean, he's the greatest basketball player ever. You know
what? I see a lot of videos on YouTube where they talk about Larry Bird being like the biggest shit talker. So they celebrate that. So what's the difference?
Right.
Then? If he's one guy's an asshole, the other guy is celebrated as being
Larry Bird was a major
what's
asshole.
Yeah, exactly. So the reality is it's just whatever people feel, which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. They set their sights on somebody and they're just unrelenting in trying to bring that person down.
Yep.
I never put Lance Armstrong was never like some moral compass for me. The dude was a badass bike rider, and sure, they were all cheating.
Oh, okay. I just love that Americans were winning.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it too.
Love it.
Because the fucking the Europeans were they were not happy because that was the French had always they dominated,
Mm-hmm.
You don't think the Russians are doping? You don't think in the fucking 70s the dominant hockey players and all the dominant Russian athletes weren't fucking using chemical enhancements? Of course they fucking were. Please. Yeah,
that
give me a
document
break.
That came out where he contacted that Russian scientist or whatever that they eventually got out of Russia, and he's hiding out here in the U.S. that just basically detailed all of that stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely. Why
absolutely.
Everyone else was doing it.
But supposedly the United States athletes are supposedly holier than thou, and they're not allowed to be, they have to be, it's that fake fucking, exceptionalism. Hey, I love this country. I mean, I love what the nation represents. I love that, but I'm not going to sit there and say that America is like accept the exceptionalism of the athletes or anybody that competes for the nation or anything like that. No, they're all human beings with frailty. They want to win, I don't care if you're a baseball player or whatever,
Along with truth comes the painful reality that, we're not really that much better. Versus countries like China, we're like, we have the most amazing martial arts, and it turns out they're all horseshit.
Right.
One guy's like, nah, you suck. I'm better at this than you are because
in reality, right, exactly.
He beats the crap out of a Chinese guy.
Right.
He beats the crap out of all these so-called actually a couple of them, not even a lot of them, just enough to get them all, to get the state of the government of China pissed off to where we got to appear strong.
Right.
You can't make us look weak. That's all it was, just political crap to appear strong. To the rest of the, yeah.
But I never put Lance Armstrong on some sort of. I always go back. I love that Charles Barkley commercial from the '90s. I am not a role model for your kids. I play basketball. I'm not a role model for you. I love that because it is.
Well, and then they started trying to make them into them. Oh, you got to wear suits.
I never understood that.
You gang member thug that we pulled off the streets.
Yeah.
You got to wear suits now.
Yeah, wear a suit.
That's going to go over well.
I never understood that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'd be like, can I wear just whatever I want to wear? Yeah, there's some silly shit, man. Definitely some silly ass shit when propping people up. But this Snow White and what was that one movie that was on HBO all the time in the 80s? You might not know that, called Under the Rainbow, where it was kind of like a takeoff of The Wizard of Oz, where they had all those dwarf little people or whatever they want to be called. I don't fucking know. They had all those people in. I mean, what is wrong with hiring if they can fill the role, if it's fiction, fill the role, hire the. Who was that one dude? Who was the guy that Peter Dinklage that made it big? He's kind of the most the most successful like dwarf actor or whatever. He come out and said that you shouldn't be hiring. It's a stereotype. What? I don't get it.
Yeah.
He made it big, so now he doesn't want any more dwarf actors being hired in Hollywood. I mean, it just goes hand in hand with this. So the Merry Men and the fucking Seven Dwarfs are the same height as fucking, that is so nonsense. I'm supposed to look past that just because they look diverse. I'm supposed to like, no, don't. Those are really just guys that are 3 feet tall. No, he's not 6 foot. He's, I can do that with like maybe one character like Wolverine, who I know is supposed to be 5'3", like a short character. Of course, it's hard to find a guy that can play that role. Reality has to take center stage there. You got to hire a guy that's got a little bit of acting chops. I can see that, but it wouldn't be hard to find fucking 7 dwarf actors, like generic, no-name dwarf actors that can act like dwarves on screen,
Yeah, I mean, they did it for Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, they for R2D2 and the Jawas and the fucking Ewoks and all that. They were all little kids. They were either little kids or they were dwarfs. Yeah. It's just political correctness out of fucking control, man. Anyway, I've hyped on about that enough. It's ridiculous. Latina Snow White. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I just don't like when things are changed just because.
Just for the sake.
There's no real reason.
Right.
In
the end.
I go back to the whole thing like that has worked out for me. When I want content that I think is deficient and I want to see it, I make it.
Right, exactly.
Like I'm doing these things of the Ghost Recon stuff for some buddies that I play with now, and I wanted them to see kind of some of the stuff, and all I kept seeing was like all these stupid meme interjected gameplay. I'm tired. I'm not 12. I'm not getting off on SpongeBob memes being interjected with gameplay of like, killing cartel members in Bolivia.
Right.
If I was after a silly game, I probably wouldn't be playing a game about killing cartel members in Bolivia.
Right. Right.
That's not exactly a child type game. So so I put out some, pretty straightforward videos or whatever. And, you want to see the stuff you want, we'll go do it. Just go do it.
Yeah, 100%. You want to see it? Do it yourself. Don't
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman is living proof that Bigfoot exists. He was trending.
Why?
Because he's announcing he's leaving. Ron Perlman announced he's leaving Twitter. Meow, 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 meow. Because that looks like they did a Ron Perlman cat. Like,
oh wow!
You ever seen the TV show Beauty and the Beast from the 80s?
Absolutely.
With what's her face, Sarah Connor or whatever her name is, and they made that cat look like Ron Perlman. Striking actor. I don't care if the actors are good. Let them strike. The only people that's going to help are the people that have talent. What that's going to do is that's going to wipe out a lot of people that are there just for the diversity hire or the equity and inclusion shit.
Send them to Ukraine to fight.
Right, that's what you were saying. Yeah.
They want to do something, go do it over there.
Oh, you posted something. It takes a second to pop into my notification. But yeah, I could care less what Ron Perlman says. Who gives a fuck? Be Hellboy. I mean, I don't care. I liked you in the Hellboy movies, okay. It was all right. Only because I didn't really have to look at your face. You were all in fucking makeup and shit. Ron Perlman's ego is leaving from gate 44F, destination Orwellville. Yep. Oh no. This OBS is this. I had a hiccup there, I guess.
Oh.
German truck drivers in Stasslen. I'm probably just saying that wrong, have absolutely run out of patience with climate protesters. Why aren't the police taking any action against people who block the roads? Because they don't want to. The police are the government has told the police to stand down. Oh, yes, I like
Wait
it.
till you see what happens.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to. Here, let me click on this so it's. Yeah, drag these stupid fucks.
You carry bear mace and just start spraying them. Fucking why you?
What's the guy from Walking Dead's baseball bat called? I can't remember.
I don't watch this show.
I don't either, but
I didn't know there was a guy with a bat that had a name.
yeah, he carries the bat. Guy, I'm not big. I'm not well versed on Walking Dead stuff. I can't remember.
I'm not as
I love Robert Kirkman. Walking Dead is not something. Yeah, I see that.
Moved him.
He ain't playing.
Run his ass over.
He ain't playing.
These idiots are still gonna just sit there. Run me over. They should.
They should.
If you sit down and
you've been warned
to leave, you've decided your life isn't important.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
You've just decided your life doesn't matter. So
I love it. He fucking just started. These people are fucking insane, dude.
Yep.
I would be so. I beat the crap out of these people. I'm sorry. I'd get out of my trucking, but I don't. It's like I don't have time for this nonsense. I do exactly what he's doing.
He's definitely. He's trying to stay within the limits of the law. But
I know he is.
Else that has been pushed too damn far.
You're just. There's a tipping point where yeah, punch that. And look at this guy with the camera. This is what gets me. There's a guy sitting there with a camera filming the whole thing. Help the guy move these idiots. Put the fucking camera down. We're talking about real life here. I wouldn't be filming this. I would go over and fucking helping drag these morons off to the grass. And so this guy could get on with his day and his business of surviving.
The thing about the Dutch basically taking down their own government, just changing it. Because they're like, you're not doing what we need. But they actually, no protesting. They took action and made it happen. There's that whole thing about, remember the government over there was trying to take farm stuff away, saying you can't be farming it. Yeah. So the follow-up has been, well, they've decided to remove their government.
Yeah. Sorry, you're no longer needed. Sorry, government. We're putting you on notice. Here's your pink slip. Yeah. That's what needs to happen. Why are these people wearing orange vests? Why are they? We can plainly see that you're annoying little fucks sitting in the street. We don't need you to wear. You wear orange vests when you don't want to get hit by cars, okay? But these people want to be seen by cars. They don't care. They're begging to be hit, and they're wearing these orange vests.
Yep. Mentally ill.
Yeah, there's mental illness. That's all you can say.
To handle this stuff.
Yeah. What they're doing is doing absolutely nothing but making idiots out of themselves. That's all they're doing. They're wearing clothes that were produced by fossil fuels. All those clothes manufacturers are being produced by shit that was powered. Every single aspect of their life, that backpack, their cell phones, that vest they're wearing, everything, their shoes, everything was manufactured with machines. Sewing machines are all powered by electricity or whatever that's being powered by, you can all trace it back to fucking fossil fuels. Fossil fuels is a great thing. CO2 is a great thing. Sorry. It's a wonderful thing.
Like this idiot below that they're trying to force people's hand on something that they're not equivalent choices. Oh, what's more important, property or human life?
Oh, nothing irks me more than ridiculous analogies. Yeah, like ridiculous choices. I think context is more important here. What is more valued in our civilization, property or human life? Only one is replaceable. No. I don't have to make a choice between these two. My property is an extension of my life.
Even
you don't
better
divide the two. Yeah.
Even better. Look at what that guy posts is that truck was about delivering oxygen to hospitals.
Right.
So it's equivalent. idiot.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Who cares?
That's what I'm saying.
Hamburgers. It could have been.
It doesn't matter
fucking
what it
carrots.
is. It could be.
Could have been.
It could be a pack of fake. It could be a fucking dildos for the
blow-up
next
dolls.
fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be
Who
a
cares?
cargo of Fago for the next Insane Clown Posse concert. I don't give a fuck what it is.
People
you
get
don't
paid for the product.
You don't.
They have life because of the pay for their product. So it's not. It's not a choice.
There's no choice here. Yeah, that's like
false,
right. False dichotomy is what they call that, I guess, or something. But there's no. What a moron! I don't have to pick between. How about here's the two choices: you fucking leave people alone, or you go jump off a goddamn bridge. Okay, those are your two choices. If you're a climate activist. We don't need any more activists
go to the companies and go to their lobbies or something.
Right.
And you put up your whatever it is that you want outside their walkway or.
Make sure that your individual life doesn't include anything that has anything to do that can be rooted back to fossil fuels if you're that fucking passionate about it. Go live in the Ozark Mountains somewhere or some mountain in Germany. Go build yourself a little fucking tent somewhere up in the mountains, and you never have to rely on, you hunt for your food, catch food with your bare hands. Don't use a weapon that's been manufactured by a machine. You can root everything back to fucking progress. Fossil fuels is progress, period.
Yeah. I need to make sure that these people just ate grass when they were hungry. They just went to the grass right there and just ate that.
And just ate,
just eat grass and dirt.
Don't wear clothes. Make your own clothes.
You don't need those backpacks.
Skin an animal. You don't need that backpack. You don't need a watch or whatever.
Don't need the shoes.
You don't need cell phones. Shoes. Live like that. I have no problem with that. I would respect your individual choice to do that. Quit disrupting other people's lives.
Yep.
This fucking guy did nothing. He's just surviving. He's working a job, surviving. And it so happens that he is air. Yeah, he's delivering oxygen. He might have an important, The planet is fine.
But it shouldn't matter.
The planet is fine. I'm sorry. The planet's better now. If you're talking about being able to, because it's all about us, right? Sustaining human life is what these people are worried about. Narcissistic. There's more to this planet than human life. Let's put it that way. But we are currently the dominant species on this planet. So we don't want it to get colder. Is that what they want? Do they want things cold? I don't understand what they're trying to. What are they trying to? What's the result they're trying to get here?
Planet temperature is going to change based on however the system's going to change.
Exactly. Planetary climate isn't controlled by this stuff. It isn't.
Like we saw in COVID, we may have a very temporary effect on it that immediately gets.
Like a surface level, like
nothing,
like a surface level, a surface level. A dog's health isn't
like skin irritation, dude.
A skin irritation
goes away.
Exactly, but your internal health isn't controlled by that, by those forces. The things that control planetary, environmental. The forces have nothing to do with human beings. You're talking about tectonic forces and cosmic forces, solar, whatever. Tectonic forces drive planetary climate, not this guy driving a truck. All right.
The greatest changes in our climate happened without people.
Exactly.
Fucking idiots.
Exactly. People did not exist when things were way more extreme. The planet's in a good time right now. It actually needs to get a little warmer. Now, I know you don't want to hear that in Texas.
No. I don't have a problem with this
Right.
because we should be able to adapt. I have a problem because people are being retarded and don't want to adapt, even though we have the capability and the means.
Right. 100%.
They would rather say, you know what, we need more electric vehicles. Huh?
Huh?
But where our grid can't hit. No. Don't also turn off your AC between 12 and 8 p.m. Between 2 and 8 p.m. because that's when
Insanity.
we have the most. We can't afford that, but get electric vehicles, okay?
Yeah.
Also, terrible to put the batteries together. That's a horrible process. But we need more electric vehicles. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the charging station. We don't have the capability of supporting it on our grids. But shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
Right.
They're so stupid. Dude, it's so stupid.
It is. It's
You know,
100%. I mean, it's just
we have nuclear power capabilities.
atomic power is in the
use it.
right. 100%. Because it doesn't sound good. You know, it's
Because
funny.
they've been painting a picture for decades.
I
against
went to the grocery store today and looked up, and the fucking windmills or whatever you call them, the turbine wind generator or whatever the fuck they call them, the ones that I've showed you before that in this town, they aren't spinning again. They're never working. They just sit out there for people to go, oh, look.
All I got to do is look at my electric grid breakdown here in Texas. They show it to you, and the wind power is always like, well, they're not really spinning much today.
Right.
They're never spinning much
They're
today.
never, very rarely are they going. I don't know
Not
what's
only that,
going on. They can't
but if
afford
the
to
United
maintain them.
States- If the United States was so like on board with solar power as an alternative, every new fucking home would have solar power on
Yes.
the roof.
Right.
Every one of them.
Every
It
one.
would be a non-negotiable.
Right. It would just
Non-negotiable.
be the norm at this point.
You don't think that
right.
we went to the moon just by saying, oh, you know what? It's just not a. No, we said this is going to happen. We're
Right.
a big baller. Go up, step up and say, hey, we're going to fucking go to the moon.
Yep.
Because we're going to beat the fucking Russians.
And they were trying
That's
to
all it's
bankrupt
about.
the Russians as well
Yeah,
because
we
they
don't-
knew it was
we don't give
a
a shit.
right,
We're just
yeah,
gonna make it
exactly.
That's the kind of energy we need. Instead, we got mommy power now. I don't know, because if we went to I don't know if we do it, but it's going to cost, and if we want to do this, but it's the planet. You're gonna,
Right. If it actually
need
meant
big
something,
baller
it would
energy.
already be the norm. Yeah, but guess what? It doesn't work. They know it doesn't work. Phil says, wait, you went to the grocery store. Where did you find money for groceries when you owe the government $10K?
no.
Yeah, well, I don't owe the government $10K. They say I do, but that, I mean, they say the government says a lot of shit. Let's put it that way. They'll end up getting their money from me somehow, I'm sure, but oh well. What am I going to do? I still have to live, and I'm priority over the government's delusions and corruption.
Fake news.
Kathleen, yeah, wrong. That Trump meme, wrong.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy rumored to stay on at Lucasfilm because no one wants the job.
Uh-huh.
What?
Sure. I'm sure a fan
I'll
wouldn't
take
want
it.
it.
I'll take the
Yeah,
job.
exactly.
I'll take the job.
I'm sure a rabid
It's a real
fan
hard. It's a real hard job too, Janzer. Let's see. I'm going to try to go out and I'm going to vet my creative team. I'm going to get together. I'm going to vet them like crazy to try to get the most passionate, fucking creatively
artists.
minded.
Let's get down to it. You need some real artists.
Yeah.
Some real autistic
Right.
motherfucker, backward nerd, super nerds.
Exactly.
Like
I don't
guy-
give a
you know,
shit
he-
about their skin color. or their
walls
personal
are
agendas.
timelines of events of
Right.
Star Wars.
That's the people we need
Yes.
in the business. Not
exactly.
not somebody
Hardcore gatekeepers that are just not going to put up with
exactly
shit.
is not. There you go.
Can you imagine how amazing that next movie? It would be like, oh my god, people would just.
It would
Oh,
blow
God.
you away. It'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is
And then
back.
they'd be like,
This is-
we're just getting started.
This is original George Lucas all over again.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't care. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes,
Yeah, sure. That's what George Lucas did. You know, imagine if he had mommy power. He'd
right.
been like, well, I don't know. We got to go through.
Well,
They never
it would
did
have
this
never
before.
happened.
He's like, this doesn't exist. We're gonna figure it out.
The force
We're
of
just
his
gonna take
will and his
Yeah.
creative vision made that
Exactly.
movie. The
Exactly.
end.
Oh
And,
no, it was his wife. What are you talking
oh
about?
no, yeah, of course they have to make him look. I'm so don't.
Even she said it wasn't me.
It's not.
I just came in and did a couple things. It was his vision that drove the entire thing.
It
I did a
wasn't.
few things, and even that was
Right.
mostly thrown out.
Right.
She admits it herself in books, and I've looked at the sources for that stuff. So
That movie happened because of George Lucas's fucking will.
absolutely.
That's it. Now, would he still have that will today? Nah, probably not. Yeah, I mean, if
well, that's why he tried to get rid of it. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm done.
I'm
Somebody
done. I
please take
did.
this from
Yeah.
me.
They should just hire a team that destroyed the Witcher series before it even got started. Then there would be no jobs
that
to
idea.
fill or a company when they run it in the ground. I never have watched The Witcher, but I've heard, yeah.
I tried watching it. It was just like they tried to make it Game of Thrones, in my opinion.
Right. I've
Just
never watched Game of
women
Thrones.
drama. Just
I never.
I saw like 4 episodes, maybe something like
Okay.
that, 3 or 4, and I saw it because of the guy that dies in it in the beginning. I can't remember his name. He's always dying in movies. Got his head cut off. But he was Faramir in Lord of the Rings as well. He got killed. in there.
Oh,
But God, I can't remember his name.
Sean Bean?
Sean Bean. There you go.
yeah. Okay.
I thought that he was going to be in this, and then they kill him the first step, and I'm like, the fuck, man. So I got all these other scrub nobodies that I don't care about, I guess. And so I watched some of it, and I was like, this is just like women drama. That's all it is.
Right.
It's just like soap opera with dragon, not the allure of a dragon. That's all it was.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't know. It was just that's all it was. Just oh, but we're gonna do this and a lot of gay stuff and weird like family sexuality. Like honestly, if you like that show, something's wrong with you. Like there's a lot of like anti-norm stuff in there, which I'm not on board with. I just was like, I'm not cool with this. But you know, I bet the progressive leftists love it. I bet they did.
I watched like 10 minutes of one Game of Thrones episode, and I just like it just didn't appeal to me. I just never, and that was a long time. That was like in 2013 or 12 or something when it was first starting. It just didn't appeal. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah,
I was just like,
People
nah,
got tricked into
I'm
it.
not interested in this. But Kathleen Kennedy, look, I'm sure she's a fine producer. When she keeps, but she doesn't have any kind of creative talent. Just be a producer. That's all you need. You don't need to put hire people that are more creative and more talented than you. That's all a producer has to do. That's what a producer has to
Give
do.
us the money. Producers give us the money.
Get the money,
influence people to
right?
come in.
Influence
That's it.
people, and that's it. And then you hire people that actually give a shit and are very talented. You try to get the best talented. Other than that, you stop. You don't look for the limelight. You don't let. It's like Wag the Dog at the end when Dustin Hoffman. I want the credit because he was the producer. And he goes,
Right.
"No, you can. We told you at the beginning you can never get credit for this. We can't let the American people know this was a sham. Oh, I demand to have the credit." And that's what he wanted. Well, that's kind of how Kathleen Kennedy's being. She
That
wants to be
movie
known
has
as
been
the
coming up in conversations online. a
Oh,
lot.
dude, it's spot on what's going
Yeah.
on right now.
Yep.
It's scary spot on. Oh my God, dude. I saw it on television. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's real. I saw it on television. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kathleen Kennedy, I'm sure she's a fine producer. I struggled through
I'm
the
not
first
sure of
season.
anything. I just know that she's there.
Well, I
so,
mean, a lot of the movies that she's been labeled as the producer, she's gotten credit, have been very financially successful. But the
Right.
more that you hear her name being involved in the movie, like older movies that were very successful where you didn't even know who Kathleen Kennedy was, but you saw her producer credit, but that was it. It happened. But the more that she sneaks her little agendas in there, the force is feminine and all that stuff, the worse these movies do.
it's like trying
It's
to build
not a coincidence.
legacy,
Yeah.
you know, but you're trying to build a legacy off of somebody else's legacy.
Exactly.
You're not the person.
You're not
We
the
don't
you're
need
not the
your-
person. Take the money and
Yeah.
run. You're getting. I'm sure she's ultra wealthy. She's got more money. She's probably got hundreds of millions of dollars. That's fine. Take it and be happy that you did your job. You didn't have to put an agenda in there. You got talented people to make a good product. That's all you need to do as a producer. You can't be a narcissist and a fucking glory hog when you're a producer. Sorry. It's not going to happen. You got to give other people the limelight. That's what makes successful things.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what good leadership is.
That's what good leadership. Exactly. You're the main leader when you're a producer on a film. 100%. You're trying to make somebody else's vision happen. That's it. Oh, well. I went on about
crazy, man.
Yeah. I went on and on. No one wants
It
the
just
job.
goes back to that, Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants the job, or they do not want to hire the right person to take them in the right direction. Well, that's it. I'm sure there's a lot of people who want the job, but now they might not.
There. I would take this burden. You're a bonus hole. Probably don't know what the hell Star Wars is going on.
Yeah, here's the thing. Maybe because she's ran this crap in the ground, she's helped run it in the ground, that maybe it is a poison pill where there are some people that have turned the gig down. I know that happened with the DC universe, where they were trying to replace they were trying to find the Kevin Feige of the DC movies, right? Well, they've got him now in James Gunn. They got the Kevin Feige now. He's in charge of the whole thing. There was a lot of people that turned that shit down because of the bad reputation that the DC movies were getting. Like after Justice League, they were trying to find a guy. There are some notable people that turned down that gig. So, yeah, there might be people turning. I mean, this might be somewhat correct where no one wants the job. No, they want the job. They just don't want the stigma. They don't want the train wreck dumpster fire you've made right now. But the actual job they do want. Yeah.
Fucking Phil.
They should hire Les Grossman. Yeah.
Dude. Okay.
That would be fucking great.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
But would he let it fail?
Fuck no.
Make money, and by making money you have to make a good product.
Yes,
he would fucking get it done.
Hey, and there's a lot of Tom Cruise in reality in that character. Tom Cruise,
that's
you
what
know what I mean?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said the reason why I think it was such a it worked out well is because we know that's Tom Cruise. We want to see the real Tom. We want to see
now that's behind the scenes Tom Cruise. That's not Tom Cruise in front of the camera. He would, he's like, hi, great. He don't fucking play fools in those movie productions.
That's why I had zero problems when Christian Bale blew up or whatever so-called blew up.
I had no problem with that. He doesn't suffer fools. He doesn't want to suffer.
At the level that they're operating at, ain't time to fuck around.
Right.
Every minute matters. Every hour matters.
Exactly. Quit fucking around and take your job. Christian Bale just says, I'm intense on a movie set. I want people to come prepared. It's a job. It's not that you're some great. Being an actor is a fucking job at the end of the day.
Yes.
It's not some I'm here and I'm so wonderful. It's not a Marlon Brando thing where you don't have to. Marlon Brando used to piss everybody off because he never came prepared. He didn't know his lines because he was Marlon Brando. They don't have time for that nonsense. The movies the movie stars that are successful do not have time for that fucking nonsense. Tom Cruise does not have time for that nonsense. He wants people prepared and at the same time, ready to go.
I don't think I'd want to see him take the helm of something like Star Wars. I don't think his flavor of action. Plus, he is the guy. He's always the guy. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I would never want to see Tom. Wars. No, Tom Cruise has got to do his own.
If somehow he could be part of it, like by being a producer that keeps other people in line. And lets the people that know, if somehow he was able to do that,
Oh, he's part producer in all those movies. He's him and that Paula Wagner. Yeah, they're Tom Cruise is the producer. But
I'm saying Star Wars stuff.
But I'm just saying.
I know in his own stuff, clearly. Of course.
Oh, you're talking about him and Star Wars stuff. Yeah. I wouldn't want to see it like you said.
Who's a high-level player that could take something and execute well? And we're not really seeing that stuff.
Right.
That's why people are looking at Tom Cruise now because maybe he wouldn't have been that amazing back when there were bigger players around, bigger directors to push the. but because he's just really on. Look, the Mission Impossible stuff, they're not amazing movies. They're action movies that are, sometimes they got some good hits in there,
Right.
but it's not like you're like, oh man, from start to beginning. I've watched some of the newer ones. They're all right.
They're all right.
They
They're not
do
right.
the job they're intended to do.
Exactly.
Which is kind of keep you entertained and stuff. And I had a pretty good time, but you're not like, oh my, it's not like you're walking out.
They don't
and
blow
you're
my socks
feeling
off going, oh,
big
this
time
is,
one way or the other.
they're not doing anything.
Right. They're
Yeah.
not a Matrix where there's people like you're like, and there's
Right.
people like me that are like, that was amazing. They're not making the polarization talk. They're doing their job, which is it's the same thing with the Maverick one, Top Gun Maverick, which by the way, that was based on a real life thing. But anyways,
Right.
The point is, it's just here's a solid product. There you go. It's it's vanilla ice cream. It's
Yep.
chocolate ice cream. It's strawberry. It's mint chocolate chip.
What you
That
see with
know
what you
you're
get.
getting,
Yeah.
and you're getting what you're getting.
Right.
Not some weird. We replaced the mint with some other
Right.
kind of thing because
Because
it's organic, natural,
And we're trying
bullshit.
to, like that blue. It's funny. I saw a picture online of a toy store. They go to the Star Wars section, and the blue hair in The Last Jedi. I don't know if you've seen it. I can't remember the name of the actress. She was in Jurassic Park. The
Laura
blonde Laura Dern. Thank you.
I liked her in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I liked
She was
her,
perfect there.
but she plays that blue-haired admiral
Sure,
woman
yeah.
on the thing, and
I will sacrifice my life by doing something that we could have always done.
right,
And we
no
can never
one,
do again.
right, exactly. No, not one toy
Sure,
had been
plenty of
told.
kamikazes. Because did you see Japan? They found a lot of kamikazes.
Right.
I'm sure you could find a lot of kamikazes.
Right.
Don't give me that shit.
But the point is, the store aisle that had her toy was filled with those toys. No, and they had them discounted, and not
Should've
one
taken a
person had fucking seen. Oh, it was online. I don't know. I should have saved the picture. It was funny. Hoda is the name of the character, Admiral Hoda. It's like nobody wants Hoda or something. That was
304
hilarious. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, it was fucking hilarious. But that's kind of the thing.
Hoda Kotb?
You don't see those kind of
Is that Hoda
characters.
Kotb?
Yeah,
Isn't that a person, like a news anchor or something?
yeah,
Who-
she was
Hoda
on.
Kotb?
She was on that morning show
Did they
with
name her for that?
Hoda.
They
Yeah,
probably did. I bet they did. Because where do you come up with a name like Hoda? That's not a
she's
real name.
Egyptian
It's a
or
made-up-
some
that's
shit.
a-
I don't know.
Okay, so it's made up either way.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you
Egyptian.
don't
And then
see those
so
kind
then
of
they got a white girl
characters.
to play her?
You
Oh,
don't see
man.
those kind of characters in Tom
Cultural
Cruise movies.
appropriation.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise movies,
Exactly.
you don't see those kind of characters. You just don't.
Exactly.
You see characters that make sense to the story. That's it.
Right.
Oh, he's got a black character too. Ving Rhames is in all his Mission Impossible movies. Oh, really? There's women in there too, of course. Beautiful women, of course.
Yeah. Ving Rhames is in there because at the time when they made, he was still pretty up there as a player.
Yeah.
He made sense
Yep.
to put in there. And now while they made him like the hacker instead of like being the tough guy, whatever, that's actually on par with exactly what Ving Rhames did. He did a lot of like things that were counter to his stereotype
Right.
of the
Big
type of person he
muscle.
was.
Yeah, big dude,
Yeah.
muscle. He, instead of just having
Sometimes
him
in-
play that all the time,
Yeah,
they
I remember what was that sports thing? No. I think it was with fucking Adam Sandler when he gets married to Kevin.
oh, I now pronounce you.
Yeah, right. Well,
Or
anyways,
something, or
in
whatever.
that, Ving Rhames is a fireman who's a gay fireman.
Right.
So once again, it's kind of on point for him to try to take a character and change it.
And
or
change-
take a
right,
role that
exactly.
is,
Yep.
counter to what you think. So it did make sense that he was a hacker.
And
Plus, at
in
the time,
Con
he was
Air,
a big name.
Con
Yeah.
Air, he was the criminal. He was the murderer in Con Air, but he was also the most philosophical of all
Exactly.
of all the
You gotta
guys.
have that, right?
Yeah,
But you gotta have that in
Diamond
prison.
Dog or whatever. Yeah.
But why would they keep him? Because I think probably Tom Cruise is probably loyal to people that are loyal. Or whatever.
100%.
Like anybody,
Right.
anybody that has learned in the industry. If you don't fuck me over, we'll keep working.
We'll
together,
keep
'cause
working,
I need
right.
people to trust.
Yep.
I need to be able to trust people that are just
Yep.
going to do what needs to be done.
Yes.
And don't give me shit.
And don't talk. Yeah, you don't hear anybody like complain. All the actors that are in Tom Cruise movies,
Exactly.
you don't hear them talk about how they were mistreated or how they were. They don't make fake outrage shit in time. You never hear that, but you hear this
Well, let's
shit
be
all the
fair, because
time.
Let's be fair. He'd probably disappear him. That's why. But
Well, yeah, that's true because they're probably that's 100. But
the
Scientology, yeah,
exactly.
But they
He'd probably
wouldn't
get Scientologists on him.
because they know they won't get hired again. They can't fail upwards in a you can't fail upwards in a Tom Cruise movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You've got to actually do the Now I'm not saying every Tom Cruise movie hits, but he doesn't try to come out if he does a movie that doesn't do well. He doesn't make excuses for it or blame the audience. He just moves on and tries to do better.
Yep.
You know,
that's the next one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Next, it didn't hit. You know, and he's had some movies like that. You know.
Yep.
But he wanted to make sure that Maverick hit, and it did. Woo, made $1.5 billion or whatever.
It was just.
He knows what his audience wants.
For the environment.
Yeah, he
was
knows.
Perfect for the environment. Everybody wanted to get away from all this other horse shit.
Right. Came out at the right time. Yeah. And you know what? Top Gun is not near my favorite Tom Cruise stuff. It really, I like it, but it's not like my favorite Tom Cruise movies. It really isn't. Because it's a little corny.
I like well, but some movies they got to believe in themselves, which makes them feel corny.
Right.
Right? Because
I like corny. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. It just didn't.
We're getting into fantasy land. We have to believe. And when you ever have to believe, it doesn't feel exactly right because it's not. You know, that's what
I actually like I will, if I have a choice between rewatching Top Gun or Days of Thunder, I'll watch Days of Thunder. I enjoy that more.
As a kid.
See, I didn't like that the first time I watched it.
But I like to go fast. I like driving fast.
Yeah, I don't like driving fast.
I loved it. Oh man.
Don't get me wrong. I've been to NASCAR. I've been to a NASCAR race. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't like it at the time. Now I appreciate it. Now I think it's decent. You know, I think it's a pretty good movie. My favorite Tom Cruise movies are fucking Risky Business and Cocktail. That's my two favorite Tom Cruise movies.
Classics.
You can hate me. You can hate me all you want for that, but those are the two that I get the most enjoyment out of.
Those are classics. Though. Yeah, you can't to take it out. That's just what he built his career on, really. You know, those and.
Phil said Collateral. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Collateral was good as a later movie.
It was all right.
Look, you can't get anywhere without talking about The Firm. I'm talking.
I saw that in the theater. Yeah.
Set his action movie type character and put it in place.
Right.
I think there was never. I don't think he had a one before that. That was that. I am that type of agent or whatever. That put him on the radar. For oh shit, he could be this guy now. For the
mission. Yeah, Mission Impossible, of course, in '95 was the big hit for him. You know,
The Firm is still like a fucking banger of a movie. It's still
I like The Firm.
Really good story.
Yeah, I like The Firm. Yeah,
but it came from a good book.
John Grisham. That was a book, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I like The Firm. I saw that in the theater. I saw that movie in the theater.
For some reason, I thought it was Crichton, but it is.
Maybe you're right. No, you could be right.
No, it's Grisham. It's Grisham.
Okay.
It's just that I'm thinking about
you know more about that stuff than I do. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you nailed it. It's Grisham for sure.
I got lucky.
But that was great.
But yeah, I'll always go back.
Was kind of I think it was a miss for a lot of people for some reason.
Yeah, it wasn't a big touted. Yeah, I forgot all about it. I've seen it. It's been a while, but
I personally like Minority Report, Phil, but I can see where people get off the train on that one.
I love Minority Report.
I personally like it.
Oh, that was neat. Yeah, that was cool.
Two things I like: action figure Tom Cruise and sci-fi.
Yeah,
and
I thought it was
people
neat.
Could say whatever they want about this didn't. I was like, look, you work with what you got at the time,
right?
And, the quality of the craft or whatever, people always going to bitch about that stuff.
I actually enjoyed Minority Report more than I enjoyed The Matrix. Now, I'm conceding The Matrix was like a changing
the original
movie.
Is where I keep always
Don't get me wrong, it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying my enjoyment of it was not as there was just parts of that slow-mo type stuff that it just didn't move the needle for me. But I can understand how people especially people that are younger than me really thought that was the fucking
a lot of 80s and 90s anime type references and all that. It really did pull from that stuff, but it also pulled from 70s kung fu.
100%.
Was 70s, 80s, 90s, and it was kind of like hey man, we're actually getting to see something that we never thought we were going to be able to see.
Right.
You know,
Oh, don't get
especially
me
with
wrong.
the-
It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
especially with people that were
Yeah.
not action stars.
right.
Like they just weren't.
Yeah,
you know?
like
they were
Lawrence
regular-
Fishburne and And
Lawrence Fishburne, but I mean, what's
Keanu Reeves wasn't even really an action.
That's
He
I'm
wasn't
saying.
an
Neither
action
was
star.
The model woman, she's
Oh,
not an action.
yeah,
None of
Carrie
these
Ann
people were
Moss.
action. Yeah,
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they did that, and that's why it's a good movie.
yeah.
Because they they
Yeah.
also apparently trained really hard, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's another story.
Mhm.
So, what you find out?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said in the past where it was like I didn't enjoy it as much as the other people. I went to see it with like 5 other people. All right, I remember
too.
that day
Me
we
too.
went to see it with a big group. They all were going gaga over it, and I was like the one going, "Yeah, it was good," but I wasn't like, "Oh, this is going to change." You know, to me, I was still like the new Star Wars digital revamp movies were coming out, and I was still in that zone. I'm older, you know what I mean? I'm a decade older than most of you guys, so I kind of it makes a difference in
Yeah, but Star
your
Wars
taste.
was still like my growing up as well, so that
Yeah.
doesn't really.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I like the Matrix. It just didn't
The
move the
Matrix, I
needle
think
for
I
me
had-
as much as other people. Yeah.
I think I was either 19 or 20 when I saw The Matrix. I'm not sure, but we were definitely all like had nothing to say, like not in a bad way, just more like kind of like wow, holy
Yeah.
shit. Like, what the hell did I just watch? Like,
Oh,
is this-
I had
is
that
this how
feeling.
movies are going to be in the future.
Yeah, I had that
You know,
feeling.
like,
I was
they
like, what
just
did I?
unlock new
Yeah.
shit,
I was like, that was kind of a trip. I remember
like,
saying
Asian
that.
movies
Yeah.
were the closest, but they don't have the production value, like, so they couldn't really get
Right.
on. Part of that, I probably was getting into my like Asian kung fu type, or not kung fu, but like newer Chinese like stuff like Chow Yun-fat, like being in John Woo movies back when he was doing Chinese stuff, not
Yeah.
American stuff.
Right.
And
right.
that was like, he was doing stuff there that was real acrobatic and real like choreographed and real stylized. And I mean,
Oh, they
fucking
took off on John Woo
A Better
stuff.
Tomorrow
Definitely.
is one
Yeah.
of, if you've never seen it, find A Better Tomorrow. And it's a Chinese, like he's a detective. It's got a great story.
Chow
A
Yun
lot of
Fat.
fucking no, from John Woo, but I think
Yep.
Chow Yun-fat is the main guy in there.
Yeah,
yes,
he's in.
with dual
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is just one of like all around just action and
Yeah.
drama and all that. You got to get past the whole subtitles, but
I like Chow Yun Fat.
It's
Yeah.
it's a fucking killer movie.
Yeah.
And it's probably never going to get the recognition that it probably could have deserved if it was like a Western movie. But still, like, I've never seen anything like that still. Like, it's a badass fucking movie.
Yeah.
Hard Boiled is also another high up on the list one,
I hadn't seen
So,
that one. I
another
saw the other
detective
one you
movie.
talked about, but I've never seen Hard Boiled. I don't think I've ever
Well,
seen
he
that.
made those characters based off of American detective cool. Like, these are not coming from their own ideas.
Right.
They're coming based off of like American Hollywood, like badass detective stuff from like 70s type stuff, because prior to that I was watching like stuff with Steve McQueen and like I fucking love Steve McQueen and stuff like
I like Steve McQueen.
Paul
Yeah.
Newman and
Mhm.
it's just all these great American actors that were it was just awesome. Even Brubaker was one of my favorite fucking movies.
Brubaker. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't really so much about the social activeness. It was about the one tough motherfucker that ain't gonna put up with shit. It wasn't about like the prison's near. Sure, whatever. Yeah, great. But more importantly, you're not gonna push me around. What's right has to be done, and I'm gonna
Right.
get this shit done. Brubaker's one of the best for that. So, but yeah.
The martial arts stuff, I was still, man, once I get my claws sunk into something, it's very hard for me to like something just that's a little more modernized. I grew up on the old 70s Shaw Brothers type
Sure. Oh, yeah, I saw that stuff
old
too.
martial arts, the stuff with the overinflated
Yeah.
sound effects and the bad dubbing. I just totally love that stuff growing up, and
Of course.
all the new type martial arts stuff. I even rejected a lot of the Jackie Chan stuff from the 90s and the late 80s. It just didn't. I didn't like that modernized stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't know how
I
you
just
could. Like, you just weren't using your eyes then. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I
to be
know.
hateful, but it's like
no, you're
his
100%.
level of choreography
Yeah.
is just ridiculously astounding.
Right. I
It's-
preferred that old cheesier stuff. I'm the same
But
with the
that stuff was
Godzilla
great,
movies
too.
as well. Yeah, I'm
See,
the
you're
same
a
with the
hater, though. You're a hater.
100%.
Because an appreciator would
You're
be like,
100%
wow, that's
right.
awesome. But I'm a hater too, don't get me wrong.
I told you when
But-
I get my claws sunk into something, it's very hard for me to like
Sure.
get out of that zone. You know, get out of
It's weird
that.
because you do appreciate things that I would never think that you would, and you do give things a chance that I never would. So it's just, I don't know, man. Just individuals. That's all
It's
it comes down to.
individuals weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all it
I'm
is.
weird.
Yeah.
You know, you're weird. I'm weird.
So what?
You know,
Yeah.
feels real
It's-
weird.
and that's kind of how it should be. Yeah, it feels fucking weird as fuck. Yeah,
Boy, he's got the life, doesn't he?
trying to pull them into the chat. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Giving them shit.
Boy, he's got the life.
Yeah, just living high on the hog.
But you
as
know
they
what's
say.
not weird? Watch my screen. That ain't weird.
No, gotta look away. You already warned me, so I already know.
Oh,
I already
baby.
know. Yep.
Yeah, I had
Oh,
to
it's a different
change.
one.
Yeah, I had to
For some
change,
reason,
man.
that other one was worse.
The other
one's
one
pretty
was-
like Mr. Ed.
The other one
but,
was worse. Now this one, it
Yeah.
displays that fine
you know
bonus
why?
hole a
It's
little
like
better.
Medusa.
Woo.
It's like Medusa. The crazy eyes
You
are
need
not
to-
in full effect, and so I'm not worried about turning to stone.
That's funny. A Titan versus a Titan.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That was a great movie, by the way. That was a movie that I did not like when I saw it in the theater, and then I love it now. I mean, you know, the original Clash of the Titans.
Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw the new one. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the new Conan. Did you ever watch that? I never watched
With
it.
Jason
I have it on
Momoa?
Amazon.
Jason Momoa.
No, I think there's another one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, let me look. I got it in my list.
I saw the one that came out in like 2011.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, with Aquaman. I call him Aquaman.
This is,
I think Amazon just
2011.
delivers something. My doorbell just rang. Go ahead.
I have something in delivery. This
Yeah.
is 2011. It is Jason Momoa. Holy shit!
Yeah.
The picture of it. Though,
It doesn't
the
look like
poster
him.
Doesn't look like him.
I
at
didn't
all.
put, I didn't put two and two together when
It doesn't look like him.
like I only learned that he was the Conan guy like a couple years ago when Justice League movie because they said, oh, he had previously done Conan. I was like, that wasn't Jason Momoa. I didn't put two and two together because I didn't know who he
Doesn't.
was. You know,
Did he get facial construction or something?
he just aged. I guess Lisa Bonet aged him or something. I have no
Maybe
idea,
they just
but
screwed with the poster. You know.
yeah, because in the
Like
movie,
Awaken the
I can't.
Kraken.
I don't. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Awaken the Kraken.
You know that Conan movie
He's
with
here.
him though. There's
I gotta
parts of
watch
it
it
I
still.
liked. Overall, it's not as good as the Schwarzenegger. Is it more like the comic book or the original source material than the Conan, the Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yes, 100% more like the source material, but it's not as good a movie as the original Conan. I mean, John Milius directed the original Conan
So
with the
that's a very
score and
interesting
everything.
one because that's the opposite of what you currently look for. You know, like if that
You're
was
100%
something-
right.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know why
100%.
I also accept that version of Conan.
Because I love the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan movie, even though at the time I had read some Conan comic books. I was like, it's not really that much Conan, but I still loved it. They could have
You know,
named it something else, you know.
I know what it is. It's for the exact same reason why I reject Captain Marvel. Besides, first off, I don't like Captain Marvel in the comics. And like the
Me
the
neither.
version that was there, I'm not saying the old versions. I'm saying the one during Civil War where she became a fascist basically and was rounding up people, you know. Like
I hate
for the
that
government.
character.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, why would they pick Captain Marvel? She's coming off of this terrible look.
I hate
You know,
that
like-
character.
I was like, if you're talking about current comic book characters and current comic book fans, even the near current, I should say, not even exactly at that moment, the near current, you just had Captain Marvel as this terrible fucking character. And you're going to make a movie about that fascist?
Badly written, badly
Yeah, why
drawn,
would that
badly
be?
written character.
And then the product they gave you was just terror. Like, it wasn't even, it was like a piece of cardboard, right? And it was just like, I think I'm better than you and I'm giving you nothing. That was the problem with it.
Yes.
So this goes why. Okay, so getting back to why the Arnold version was acceptable to me was because it had to do with him.
Right.
She could have made us like that version of Captain Marvel. She could have, but her personality fucking sucked.
It
It was not just
terrible.
bland. The character
Right.
was bland, first off.
Right.
But then her own personality was terrible.
Terrible.
Arnold's personality was fun.
Yeah. Arnold. It's Arnold.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you can suspend your values for that for what
Well, not
he's
only
bringing to the
that-
table. Yeah.
Not only that, but people weren't up and up on every detail of his personal life because we couldn't be.
Right.
Not back then.
We're not right.
We
Back
weren't
then.
like,
You couldn't
hey,
be.
look what he's doing in Brazil. Look what he's doing over.
He's a little bit of a mystery. These people are
Yeah.
still the less. Sometimes the less you know about the.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't want to know about the actor that much. I don't care about the actor. How are they portraying something on the? Are they entertaining me? Arnold Schwarzenegger is entertaining as Conan. I'm sorry. It's just. But
Yeah.
John Milius, it was well directed. The score is amazing. There's a lot of things that makes that movie work. But
Right.
at the time, I was like, it's not really a comic book, but I don't care. Yeah, it's one of those few exceptions that I'm not going to sit there going, that's not like the comic book. What the hell are they doing? I can understand,
Because they made a good movie.
They made a
regardless.
good movie regardless. John Milius made a great movie. Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah.
regardless of what the content they use, which is why it's acceptable.
Right. But
the other
nowadays
thing
they
too
don't.
is-
Yeah,
Yeah.
nowadays
They're
they just
probably-
say, "Oh, you must like this. This character's great. We got this actress, and you've got to like her. She's
Right.
yeah." They
Well,
just
they put
force
so
it on
much
you.
into it. They try to load everything up so much
Oh my God.
that by
Right.
the time it comes around, I mean, it's been building like this for a
The
long
movie
time
can't
with all
speak
the-
for itself. The Conan movie spoke for itself. I didn't need, I at the end of the
Terminator
movie,
spoke for itself.
yeah, 100%.
We had that was, I mean, sure, you can say what you want about originality. We're like, well, the story and this and pieces of that doesn't matter because the average viewer, it was brand fucking new.
It moved the needle
Brand new.
for a lot of people. Yeah.
RoboCop, like when Alien,
Right.
Well, when you look into no one had the ability to look into the
Right.
prior productions
Right.
of different things and who came from. No
You're,
one gives
you're
a shit.
digging in hindsight. Yeah, exactly. And
no one cares.
yeah.
It was new to us.
And
Well, all it is
it
a
just moved the
horror
needle at the
film.
time, and
It's the same horror film as any other horror. Shut up! It's
You-
not the same. If it was, we wouldn't have responded so well. to it.
Exactly. Exactly. It wouldn't have moved the
Everyone wants
needle.
to try to tear it down
Right.
to like, well, nothing. No, that's not true at all.
I hate all that shit. 100%. I hate when all this fucking hindsight digging and yeah. I don't know, but it is weird. That's a good point you made about the Conan. It's like, that's usually not your narrative. You want it to be, because the Conan with Jason Momoa is more like the comic book, a little bit. Yeah,
But I've also said he's not that great of an actor anyway.
right.
Like
I don't think he is.
He kind of looks the role, but I'm not saying that he needs to be like as far as like his personal choice of how he wants to run his acting career.
He's
I'm
not
just
very
saying, a lot of
charismatic.
the actors we have now aren't really that great actors.
They're not, and
you know?
they don't have the charisma of an Arnold
All they do is
Schwarzenegger.
look.
Oh, no.
They
Right.
look a part.
You need to watch the latest Fast movie then.
Oh
Get
no,
plenty of charisma in there from Jason Momoa.
I probably like it then.
Are you
he's
being
the only reason to watch
sarcastic?
that.
I might even like it then. I'm not even
I'm
kidding.
being slightly sarcastic, but his character was just very overly eccentric. Like you could tell he just all right, you can't take these movies seriously anymore.
I got you.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna have fun
right.
playing
Yeah.
this
I got
eccentric
you.
bad
Good for
guy.
He made a
got
choice, and I would
And-
rather someone make a choice and do something than being a cardboard villain. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
So
you
the
have
movie
to
isn't good?
understand where I'm coming from. What I'm doing is because no, I don't. You can
Yeah.
be evil.
The movie isn't good. It doesn't move the needle
Yeah.
in any shape, form, or fashion except for backwards. But his character when he's on screen is entertaining.
I got
There
you.
we go.
There you
Just
go.
entertain us.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what you
Get
want from
dummies.
that genre
Yeah.
of movies.
I don't watch those movies. I've
No,
watched
me
two
neither.
Fast and the Furious movies in my life.
I've watched one. and it's
Yeah.
the one that nobody says is. They say it's sacrilege. The Tokyo Drift. I thought that actually was entertaining.
I
It was
never
entertaining.
watched.
Enjoyed that one.
Plus, I like Japanese culture type stuff,
Yeah.
even if it's all.
I didn't watch
whatever.
that one. I'll have to watch it sometime.
I thought it was entertaining. The dude was an idiot. It was perfect.
There you go.
He wasn't supposed to be like cool
Right.
and smooth. He was
Right.
a hick. You know?
Yeah, I think people
Wabaki.
didn't like that one because it went off base from the original characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
that's the only reason people didn't like it. But I think they probably should
ridiculous.
have done more of that.
Yeah. It's silly. They could have done one. Yeah, they could have done one in France. They could have done one in Brazil. They could have hit all the countries up. You know?
Hmm.
Russia. That would have been interesting.
I did not see it. I cannot comment.
I'm not saying that it's something you should see.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I'll
recommending it.
watch. Those movies just don't
It's
interest
not a
me that
must-see.
much. Those fast. I'm not like a car guy anyway. I don't really,
Oh, I
know.
like speed, so yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna watch the. I didn't watch the original because it looked like a MTV Pimp My Ride version of. A
It
movie.
was. It was.
Exactly.
Those
So why
little
would I care
burner.
about that?
Yeah, those little modified cars. and-
Burners, yeah,
yeah.
rice burners.
Rice. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, hard pass.
I grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard. I love that car.
Yeah,
that
sure, I like that too. It went fast.
Yeah, it went fast, and Daisy Duke and all that stuff. But
Oh, yeah.
I saw that movie, where they did the movie.
I watched it too.
That it had nothing to do with like the original show, though. It was fucking pathetic. I saw it in the theater too, and I was so mad. My wife was like, my ex-wife was like, because she never watched Dukes of Hazzard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She didn't care. She's like, oh, it's kind of dumb. And I was like, yeah, I really hate it because it's nothing
I mean, they
like the
put
show.
Johnny Knoxville in there.
Oh,
so
God.
when you're starting
And
with that,
Sean William Scott as Bo. I mean, you talk about the worst possible. They were casting in the moment because both
they
those
made
two
it like a
guys.
stoner type movie. or
Yeah,
something,
those two guys were kind of hot commodities at the time. I hate when movies cast like that.
Yep.
I want casting to be accurate to the source, not like the hot guy at the time. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger fit Conan, big muscle.
Right.
He was actually
Physically
too
fit.
big to be Conan. To be honest with you, if you
Oh,
look
right,
at the
right,
yeah.
Right. He would. Yeah, Conan would have been more natural.
Yeah,
like,
Conan was a muscly dude, but he wasn't like the size of a bodybuilder. He didn't have bodybuilder proportions,
Right.
He had more like a warrior,
That's
like
That's like
yeah.
the Starsky and Hutch thing where they made it into
oh,
a comedy.
God,
Like, yeah, exactly. It's terrible.
don't get me
was terrible.
because Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson had that little, and Vince Vaughn, they had that little thing going on where they were in movies. Yeah,
It was terrible.
yeah, it was
I
horrible.
individually like them for different things that they do,
Yep,
and it was diarrhea.
forced.
It was,
Yeah.
it was terrible.
And that's
It
the
was
same
worst.
director that directed the Dukes of Hazzard, Todd Phillips. Yeah.
Oh, okay, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
He also
Absolutely.
did the road trip.
Horrible.
Sean William Scott, the road trip with what's his face, the comedian guy that was married to
Oh,
Drew
Green?
Barry, Tom Green.
Tom Green?
Thank you. Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah, I
too.
think I saw part of that, and I
I
stopped
like
'cause
that.
was
I
this is
enjoyed
terrible.
that. Oh, it was
Yeah.
terrible. I thought it was funny. I watched it a few times.
It did harken back a little bit to older movies.
Yeah,
a
I
little.
didn't- yeah.
I can see that.
It was okay. I didn't hate
Mhm.
it. I didn't hate it, but I liked like Van Wilder better with
I
Ryan
didn't
Reynolds.
I didn't even try to watch that. I was like, nope.
Oh,
Looks
you
like
didn't like it?
Doucherama.
I like that.
No.
I thought it was kinda-
Doucherama.
that
Not
was kinda
interested.
funny. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't really care much for Ryan Reynolds. The only thing I really liked him in was in Deadpool, and then he makes like stupid comedy things on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
I
YouTube or whatever.
like him,
A
but
little
yeah,
bit here and
Deadpool's
there,
the
but
best.
I can't name a
Yeah.
movie I really actually liked him in. I mean, Deadpool, but what else was he good in?
Not that much. He's in those formula movies, like him and. I liked him in Waiting. I thought Waiting was funny.
I thought that was Dane Cook, and so
well, Dane Cook was in that as well. Well, Dane
Yeah.
Cook was in that. He had a small little part, but
It's yeah.
yeah.
So to me, they're just the same person. They have the same type of comedy and same type of delivery. And
Dane Cook
They
is
kinda look the
Deadpool.
same.
All right.
yeah, Dane Cook just has more pockmarks on his face than
Yeah.
to me, and that's about the only difference.
Hey, Dane Cook could be Deadpool.
could absolutely be
Yeah. I
Deadpool,
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
That sucks for that guy. He got so screwed over by his own family.
Oh
Like,
my
you know,
God, dude. Yeah, his brother.
Yeah, his brother.
His
yeah.
brother fucked it. I saw that. He's been on some podcast episodes where he was explaining that whole thing. He said he
course,
looked
everybody
his
hated
brother
him.
in the eye in the court, and it was like looking into a shark's eyes, like dead, like a doll's eyes, dead eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody hated him because he had such a meteoric rise, and they didn't think that he deserved it. But
Yeah.
that's haters gonna hate. What are you gonna do about that?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
Yeah,
big time for.
Wait,
Yeah.
so,
I
you
think-
know what? They were all friends back with him back in the day. Louis C.K., Bobby Kelly, all of them were all friends.
Yeah,
with
they're all
King Kutch.
Boston area. Yeah, they all came from that same area,
But it's
comedy
like
wise.
everything, somebody that goes up, you gotta hate.
Right.
You gotta hate him.
Right.
You know, Patrice O'Neal was same way. Ugh, you know, he's just because they want the people that want to make it on their own terms hate when somebody else makes it on terms of their own.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and I have that in me too. Trust me. I hate when people do better than me when I think I could do better.
well,
But you know what?
that's human
I think
nature,
that
though.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
a competitive spirit.
Of course, that's human
It's
nature.
Actually,
Yeah.
very, well, I don't know if it's human nature. I think it is nature of people that are they have
Competitive.
a chance
Yeah.
to do better because they take
It-
some. It's like the Michael Jordan thing. I will find a way to hate you.
If
so
the
I can beat
industry,
you.
right,
you
if
know?
the industry is competitive, then it brings that out of people. It doesn't matter if you're talking about comic book artists, sports athletes, or movie producers, whatever, competitive. Yeah, 100%.
I think Dan Cook's raise was kind of like winning the lottery.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I
like
never
weird,
found
but you
him
know
that
when you get-
funny. I never found
No, I
Dane
mean-
Cook
oh,
funny.
I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of like
Yeah.
his success, he blew up so big, made millions of dollars,
Right.
and then it's like your family, coming after you
Oh yeah.
for your money kind of
Yeah,
thing. So it's like
they
he
leached
didn't-
him, and he
So
was
he didn't.
he was bad
he
with
didn't
money.
realize-
He said,
yeah,
he
he
was
didn't realize what was going
trusting.
on.
Yeah, he was
But
trusting.
that's a story that has happened to many celebrities.
Oh, 100%. It's
Mhm.
age old. Yeah. Look at all the
It's
child
shitty,
actors that
but it is what it
that
is.
trusted their parents with their money and thinking that they were going to have this trust fund, and the parents had spent all the child actors' money, and then they're boo-hooing,
Oh man, that's a name I haven't seen in a long time, and I've been glad I haven't even thought about it. Zendaya, the nobody that did nothing.
Oh,
that
Tom
just magically
Holland.
just started
Did
pushing
they,
her
let me
name.
guess, they broke up, or did they get
Who
married?
cares? Why? Who cares? The point is, doesn't matter. She's a nobody that did nothing, and nobody cares.
She was a Disney star, right? And then she
Mm.
overpaid, and then
I don't know.
I
To me,
guess she was
came
a
from
Disney.
nowhere, and they
She's doing
just
those
said,
Dune
"Hey, this
movies.
is the person," and I'm like,
Yeah, she's
what?
doing Dune. She's cool.
And everybody was, all the media was like, "Oh, but she's the best, amazing, the most amazing thing."
No,
And I'm
she's
like,
not. She's
I don't
bland
care.
as hell. Okay.
I don't even know. She's a nobody. She has to yet define herself.
100%. I don't even know why
You know?
I'm on it. Yeah.
just
Zendaya.
a
Yeah.
nothing.
She's
Yeah.
like, when she's on the screen, I'm like,
I don't know anything
so
that she's in.
bland. Well, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Spider-Man stuff, which she's not good. I mean, for one, she makes no
She's the
sense as
person there.
being the character. Yeah, she's not. There's no charisma there. In Dune, there's no charisma in her fucking character.
And
That
all
Dune
that's
movie's
fine.
weird. I like that new Dune movie, all right, but it's not for everyone.
okay.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Trust me.
All
You have to
that is
really
fine.
like Dune to like it.
All that's fine, except for the fact that they try to push that this is the most amazing young woman,
Right.
that ever
Like, she's
lived,
exceptional
ever,
and
ever of everything.
yeah.
It's like, huh? Why are you telling me?
She's
I'll figure it
not.
out myself.
What has she done? Yeah, I mean, basically, that's another just thing that she was thrust upon. She was the chosen one. There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
I
And she
don't
just
want
got that
things
Disney-
chosen for
Disney
me.
hype.
Yeah, she got exactly. I don't want things
Just like
chosen
how
for
you
me.
kinda,
I want to make my own determinations on stuff.
What's
Yeah.
her name that used to do like had a Wrecking Ball song and then doing country?
Yeah,
or
the
like
Miley
acting.
Cyrus. Yeah,
Miley Cyrus. Yeah, she got that.
Oh,
She got that energy from that, like
Hannah Montana
that
stuff.
popular-
yeah.
yeah. that
really?
young childhood actor Disney.
She's got
push.
some charisma and a little talent,
No, she's talented.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like
Is she?
the hype. No, I'm saying she's talented, but not as to me. I don't think she's as talented as the hype.
Oh hell
that they
no,
built up
not
around
even
her is.
close,
And I think
dude.
the same thing
Yeah,
is for
That's why I'm
Zendaya.
like,
She can act,
show the receipts.
yeah.
but I don't think. Yeah, Zendaya can act, but I don't think that she's not somebody like, oh, I'm going to the movie to see her. you know, because she's in this movie. It's like,
Give
she's
her-
in
give
there,
her
all
a
right,
chance
whatever.
to have a career, and we'll see. You
Yeah,
know?
she's
Like,
serviceable, I guess, as
Plus-
an actress. But like when
Plus,
I
also
see her,
think
I
she's
like I
still
just
too young.
yeah.
She's too young to really have that level of hype and presence. It's like you haven't really
just-
done anything yet.
I just don't like when things are chosen for me. Like here you go. This
there
is
you
the
go.
new.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is
That's
the
exactly
new.
what it
This is the new big thing, and
We have
we.
declared.
Yeah.
But I also think that she's not for us. She's for a younger generation.
Oh, of course she is.
Yeah, do nothing. Do nothing. Nobody's.
Yeah.
I still
mean-
like what's her name saying that. Don't be a do nothing bitch. She got her ass kicked, but she tried. You
Who's
know,
Who said that?
the MMA white girl that she got her ass kicked eventually.
Oh,
but
Ronda
she's the
Rousey.
talk
Oh,
big.
Ronda
Rousey. There
Rousey.
you go.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't care. That's part of the game. You talk
Oh, yeah.
big, you get your ass beat.
It's
She did it,
marketing.
though.
Yeah.
She did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
She
if
was the
got
biggest.
beat.
She was a household name for a couple years. Yeah, biggest thing in MMA. She was outdrawing the males. Like
Yeah.
the Ronda Rousey was
Oh,
the
but-
headliner for
But
two.
that's impossible. She's got to be a trans man
That-
in order
yeah,
to do
well,
that, right?
But that was unheard of
You
at
can't
the
possibly, as a
time.
woman,
Yeah,
succeed like that. You can't possibly.
yeah.
As
She
a woman, do that.
she captured the fucking whole audience of MMA for a while. Everybody knew who Ronda Rousey was, and nobody cared about women MMA fighters. But you know who started that? Gina Carano started that. She was the one. She was the first big women's MMA star. But she didn't have near the
Maybe
impact
in the
Robert
industry,
Rousey.
but not in the general public.
Not in the
like,
general
wide.
public, but exactly. I was about
Right,
ready to say
yeah.
within the MMA crowd, Gina
Right.
Carano's the one because she looked good and she was charismatic and she was winning. But
She was-
Ronda
She was winning
Rousey,
in Thailand too, like in
Right.
among.
Ronda Rousey
Where
was
it matters.
bigger than the sport for a while.
She's
you
like
know.
the favorite comedian's comedian kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
She didn't actually make it big in her sport,
Right.
But later on, people were like, "Oh, she was actually really good." I was like, "Yeah, okay, don't matter now."
Yeah, it doesn't.
She got
Yeah,
her career and she chonked up. you know?
yeah, and she went on and. But yeah, Ronda Rousey just blew up.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
did chunk
crazy.
up, but
Oh yeah. I don't
Well,
care. I'll be
I-
happy. Who gives a shit?
I didn't mind like the weight
You-
that she.
But
that
you
she
can't
initially had put on.
maintain
It was
that
alright, but
fighting
she
weight
definitely
in
put
real
on a lot of weight.
life. It's not
later.
realistic. She was never when she's at her fighting weight. That's unnatural for Gina Carano.
Of
yeah,
course. No one's asking for
Well,
that.
right.
But she got
Well,
bigger than
she
even
got bigger
was
than
when
she
was
should
big.
have. No, you're 100%.
I think most fighters are weight that they're not.
Well, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
The way
Sure.
that they cut, the way that they cut and
Not
stuff
possible.
to reach.
just
so
not
that
natural.
They can be
I
in
gotta
certain
package
weight
it.
classes and stuff. That's
Right.
ridiculous, man. That's not healthy.
Well, they can't
Not
be.
long-
They
not
can't.
long-term.
Yeah, you can't be expected to maintain that. Yeah, that's crazy. Like Stallone doing those Rocky movies, like Rocky 3. Have you seen what he looked like in Rocky 3? He was fucking chiseled, like not an ounce of
Man,
fat. He almost died.
fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck Rocky 3. You saw Rambo 3?
Oh,
Jesus
100%. Yeah, that's true.
He looked like somebody put him together, man. Like how you had like He-Man.
Well, that
action
was
figures.
that was. I should have said
Shit.
Rocky 4. The jump from Rocky 2 to Rocky 3 was amazing in his physique. Like he cut all body fat. But Rocky 4, he went even further and cut even more, where he almost died. He said that he couldn't even, like, sunlight was bothering him. He had, but that was the same time that he started doing Rambo 3 as well, where he was fucking just chiseled. Yeah, 100%. But that can't, he's not going to maintain that, That's
Nah,
crazy.
nobody can.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try to, but that's a
Yeah,
health-
nobody.
health hazard.
Yeah, 100%.
Your body doesn't want to have
Yeah,
that.
he was like, I almost died trying to get in shape for Rocky 3. He said, I went way too far. And injections, also,
Hey, man. Do what you gotta do, man.
Right. 100%.
As long as you got pants on, nobody gonna see that third testicle.
There
How
you,
small it is.
there you go. Yeah, I wonder, I think my Amazon package, it's all cat shit. It's all, oh,
We
I
all
didn't
know
mean
why
to
you
do
didn't
that.
go to the door when it rang.
Why's that? I was
Your
worried
big
it was.
government coming for you.
Yeah, I was worried about the dim. I was worried about the damn IRS. Well, no, I guess it hasn't been delivered. I didn't get an email. Oh, well, who cares? Maybe they're late. Maybe they won't be coming. Well, part of it's my coffee. It's coffee and cat treats. Yeah, I don't know what else is on here.
Oh, I fell asleep shortly after I had said I was in bed when you were streaming last night, and it was hilarious to go back and look for the video and see that thumbnail for it. You need help, buddy. You need help.
What thumbnail?
Thumbnail of AOC.
Oh, the AOC. Oh, come on now. You mean her? I got a new one. I got a new
I saw the new one
wallpaper.
earlier.
Oh, okay.
Showing as many teeth as she could.
What's wrong with AOC, man?
Hey, I don't live in America, man. I got no beef for her. That's y'all thing.
Hey, she's almost on Rihanna level, all right? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I
No.
can't stand fucking AOC. I can't stand that dumb bonus hole. I have it on here for mocking purposes.
Oh, we know. We know.
I know. I just joke around about it. The fact that the new Miss Marvel book, I'm going to read this from, I got this. Speaking of Miss Marvel, the fact that the new Miss Marvel book, which is overall great news, why is that overall great news, was announced 2 days after her memorial issue that shows the complexity and insanity is what Marvel did in Amazing Spider-Man. They will be justifiably be roasted for this for decades. They should have been roasted for even pushing that fucking crappy character in the first place. But they had Miss Marvel die in Amazing Spider-Man, the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel. Now they're already announcing a new book, and they can't help themselves. This new mainstream comics. These companies cannot help themselves to try to put new number ones out because it's the only way they can sell books. They have to have a new number one every fucking 2 weeks for these characters to even fucking to spur up enough interest for these for people to give a shit to buy these comic books. It's crazy.
2
To be
weeks
fair,
to
they
slow
never
the
really
spread.
kill off a character anyway.
Do what?
They never really kill off characters in comic books anyway.
Very
Not if they make
rarely.
money.
Yep. Yeah.
Not the major ones.
Not the major ones, but yeah, it's such a. I mean, they're so gimmick driven on that shit. I mean, you can have physical gimmicks, but man, fucking story wise, they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. They are so clueless. Marvel and DC are so fucking clueless anymore. It is pathetic.
I wonder what comic book sales are like now.
They're not good. You can now the Japanese comic books are
Kong Ball.
doing well.
Yeah, well, manga always had. But that's the thing, though. Manga is not viewed the same way as comics are viewed in the Western world. Like manga is like a novel.
Right.
They don't view it as a comic.
Comic book, right.
You know, like there's
Right.
like a negative stigma with comics. Or comics are for kids, like cartoons.
Right.
However, but in Japanese culture, manga is like those are like novels.
Yes.
Like the same way we have the term graphic novel. Those
Yeah.
are like
Look,
novels.
let's
books,
be
like-
fair. Manga
Yeah.
is for dirty basement dwelling autists, okay?
That's right.
And they know it, and they're fine with it.
And they're fine with it.
And then if the general
They
public
know
wants to
their
buy some of
audience.
it,
Right.
they're like, "Oh, thank you very much for letting us dirty, filthy-minded people
Yes.
sell you something. We know we're low, bottom level. We understand." And
They're
we
not
understand that you would
delusional
never
like
talk to
mainstream
us.
comic
Yeah,
companies right
they know
now.
exactly their role. China's all about like tier system and all that.
Yep.
So they know exactly their role, and they know that it's all. They're not going to try to bend. They don't have to bend to anybody because they're already
Right.
at the bottom.
And they're
These
selling.
guys that make this stuff, yeah.
And they're
Like, oh,
kicking
you want-
ass. Yeah.
You want dirty panty elf comics? No problem.
There
We'll
you
do that.
go.
Yeah, that's all the time, all day, every day. We probably got 90 of those compared to like one decent title. What's the problem?
No, let's see what's going on
I'm
with
talking from knowing this stuff, growing, like seeing all this stuff when I was in my teens and to early 20s when I was like, oh man, manga's manga's for like the hardcore dude. Like,
Yeah,
this is
they're
some,
not
like, most of this
apologizing.
stuff I ain't even
Yeah.
gonna touch. Yeah, it's like, geez, hardcore violence. Like, look at the stuff that makes it to like animation and a lot of it is just gruesome.
Oh
like,
yeah.
overwhelming violent. They're tearing people apart.
Yep.
I mean, they're chewing people up. Like, you know, like it's just they don't care. We're gonna give
You mean
what
they're
you
not
want.
writing for 12-year-old girls now, like the fucking Marvel?
Although they do that too if it makes them money.
Well,
But
yeah, if it makes
doesn't
them
really make
money. Right.
It doesn't make them money,
No.
so they're like, no, we
Manga's
don't care.
very adult.
Who wants to make
Yeah.
money? Apparently, mainstream comic books companies don't care about making money anymore.
And I'm not saying there's not good quality, you know, for people that are looking for, you know, hey, what's a really well written, really artistic vision. I'm not saying clearly there's plenty of that too. There's stuff of that. Otherwise, it wouldn't have had any redeeming value whatsoever. It would just be all masturbatory stuff. But there is, and I don't mean literally physically, but also mentally, like jazz. You know,
Right.
there's stuff that makes it to where people can appreciate it, and there's other stuff that's like, I can't listen to this. You're just fucking around with notes there because
Right.
it's your own enjoyment. You know?
Right.
The same thing with manga. You know, so comics now, they never found that like balance of I'm gonna do some at least not the big corporations. You always have your people that what's that guy that did Watchmen? I never remember his name.
Alan Moore.
Who?
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, right. I think
Yeah.
Alan Moore is definitely on the
Dave
far
Gibbons
end of, like,
and Alan
my
Moore.
stuff is
Yep.
my stuff, but he still sold to corporations.
Yep.
So he
Oh,
knew
yeah.
what he was doing too.
Yep.
As much as he's gonna complain,
He liked the paycheck. He said,
That's right.
I mean, his hypocrisy only went so far. Yeah, he likes the pay.
As it
He wants to get
should.
paid. He wants to get
a
paid.
smart
Yeah.
artist that is doing work from their mind through their hand knows that they're selling because they want to make a living.
Right.
Anything other
He was
than
no
that, then You're
different.
probably just
Yeah.
crazy.
Right. But now you got like they hire these people that come out and if you don't like my politics, don't buy my comic book. Well, that's coming back to haunt them. Now they're all backtracking on that. Did you hear Eric July is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con? He's going to have his own panel, right? Oh, they're trying to get him. They're already getting a hold of the organizers and having a protest, and because
Good, that only works for him.
he's just a terrible person supposedly. He's hate and bigotry. You can't panel somebody that's got hate and bigotry. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You are crazy. Just because he fucking kind of laughs at you and mocks you, that is not
it works
hate
out
and
for him.
bigotry. It will eventually work out for him, yes. But
Because he kind of built his online persona off of that.
of
kind
course,
you know.
of course.
So to him, that kind of stuff is like, great. You're just bringing more attention to me,
Right.
Like you've always done,
Right.
Like you've always done, and I
Right.
know how to handle you because I've been doing it forever.
But it's so funny to see them just like clutch their. I mean, these people just think that they own this stuff. Like you cannot have a
Comic-Con-
different kind of comic book creator, you know.
And the Comic-Con, in my opinion, doesn't even care because they've been suffering because of COVID and all this woke SJW
Right.
shit for years.
They're trying to get
where they're all
back.
shutting down.
Yeah, they're trying to get
Yeah.
back on
They're
track.
There's someone
Um,
that has fire and they have interest. How can we not bring them?
Right. Who cares
He's gonna
about
sell
a
tickets.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah, so
there
them
were
shutting
so I
down
saw
people-
the comments. People were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, nobody will ever go to that panel. He's hating bigotry." I'm like, I bet there's a lot of people that go to that panel because he's going to be signing. He's going to be signing the books, or you automatically get your book if you take an ISOM book, you get it graded. Like they'll grade and slab it. Yeah, and
that's cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
the problem is that what people want to do is that they want to marry your personal reality and your views with what you produce
right.
as an individual.
Right.
And that should never happen because that's like what they're saying, you know, never meet your heroes. Because
Right. I
you
100%
don't realize
agree.
these are shit. You know,
Right.
the shit that people might go through or do to
Yep.
get to the level that you say, oh, wow, they do this amazing thing. Like, you see, all right, a classic example I always bring up is like Michael Jordan. He's like, you think he became the best by being the nicest guy in the world?
Of course not. Yeah,
No.
we've talked about
Yeah,
this
we kinda
before.
went over it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know
no,
what I mean?
100%.
Ellen.
Or look at any musical
Ellen.
artist.
Ellen,
or
Ellen,
somebody. So you think,
yeah. Quit projecting your weakness on somebody else that is making it, and you're like, oh, he shouldn't act that way to make. No.
Even going back to the same Eric Gillette, y'all have said y'all don't agree with everything that he says.
Of course not.
But if he puts together a comic book that y'all think is good, y'all are not going to say, well, his personnel is this, so the comic book is trash. No, y'all going to look at the comic book as a separate entity and say, hey, look, oh, well, this person did a good comic.
Well, I appreciate the fact that he
did a good comic or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even really like his comic book. I'll be honest. I bought it. I read it. It didn't blow my socks off. I mean, it was, it's not, I'm not saying it was horrible, but it's just, to me, it's all right.
My thing is like when the detractors try to say, well, you're only buying it because we hate you. I was like, no. I bought it because he's shown through what he's done. It's like what I say about developers, and I've always said about game developers. Why do you keep going after a title that you complain about the developer? Look at their track record. Look at the history of what they do. And so from what I've seen from Eric July, I'm interested in what he does. He does things that I talk about, that I've done in the past, like with my own stuff, whatever it's been, my own career or my own YouTube channel or whatever it is, where I say, don't talk about it, do it. Right? You don't like what's out there? Well, do your own. And he actually put it up, put his own money up, and he did it.
Yep.
Okay, I'd be a hypocrite if I was like, oh, this is full of shit. No, the man put his money where his mouth is.
100%.
His money. His money.
It's an independent comic book, and they hate. It's these people that can't accept the fact that these independent comic book creators, they can't control. They can't influence the politics of individuals that are doing these independent comic books. Guys like Ethan Van Sciver, guys like John Malin. The list goes on, because they don't fall into my little thought bubble, my little echo chamber here, and we can't control that market. You know what I mean? We can't influence that market. That market's not being influenced by politically correct factors, and it drives them up the wall. And I love it. I love the fact that they're independent comic books. I don't have to like every independent comic book. You're
not supposed to like anything other than it's a weird thing, because then it goes back to like kind of what we're talking about with people. Well, you should only like what they do, not them themselves.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess, but that's not exactly how I view what's going on there. To me, I actually like his business model and how he conducts his business.
You didn't even read his comic book yet, I don't think.
That's why I'm getting his product.
Right, 100%. Because there's more factors than just the product. You like the way he went about producing the product. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm the same way. And I wanted to see the product, and I did. I read it. I got the product. I read it. It wasn't.
I saw enough of it online.
Right, exactly. You don't need to. You get the gist of it. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I really wanted? I really wanted those cards. I really did, but I thought they were just too damn expensive.
Yeah.
Because I personally like cards.
I
used to collect crap loads of baseball cards. I had so many. I still have a ton of comic book cards. Like,
oh, nice.
I have a ton of them. Yeah, they're in a storage, but I think cards are it's just kind of neat for me.
Yeah, they're neat. I agree. I don't collect them, but I think they're cool. Yeah, 100%.
But anyway, the point is, I saw enough of the quality of the stuff. I saw the people he was getting. So it's not like I didn't know that. Now
he's got Chuck Dixon. He's got new guys coming in. Chuck Dixon, for those that don't know, he created Bane. He was the inventor of the Bane character. Did Batman. He's pretty well respected in the comic book. Sure. He's a little before. He's after my generation. Chuck Dixon wasn't around when I was big into comic books, but I know who he is, and I like his stuff. He's a talented dude, but once people see Chuck Dixon's on board, and then he gets more. Oh boy, and it's scaring these people, man, because they think that the comic book, they kind of think that it's their thing, and they don't like the fact that these independent guys are kind of going to be able to end up running the show, and they don't want to. One guy that guy from Geeks and Gamers was like, yeah, we're not going to quit independent all the way until we control it all. And I'm like,
Right.
Eric July's like, no. And Ethan Van Sciver's like, we don't want, it's not about controlling everything because
Right.
you become the thing, you become the establishment. We're not trying to become the establishment. We want to be left alone to do our own thing and to compete fairly. That's all we want to
Well,
do. Yeah.
All I gotta say, having seen small companies get into larger companies, you say whatever is happening at the moment. Now they say they don't want to.
Right.
If they ever became the big, they
It
would
could
embrace
happen.
it.
Yeah, you're
Because
delusional to think it's never
You
going to
almost
happen.
have no choice.
Right.
Look at Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
Whoever thought he was going to be this big powerhouse?
Look at George Lucas. Yeah, George Lucas became the thing he was railing against. Yeah, that's one reason why,
Well, I actually don't buy into that whole he was the great evil. I know that was the popular thing online. And
I don't think he
I'm
was
sure I
either.
made some jokes
Yeah.
about it, too, but I really didn't have the same level of some people.
His
just have a
property
hatred,
became
you know?
the big mainstream. Star Wars became the big
Yeah.
mainstream thing. That's kind
I
of what
actually
he.
think I'm on board with what Disney did, which is like fuck all the extended universe stuff. We're gonna pick and choose what we want. I think that was a great way because in order to have a consolidated vision of a product, you need to be able to to limit what gets in there, not
Right.
just accept everything.
I
So I
s-
think
yeah.
it was a smart maneuver to say everything else gets out except for the movies, but we're gonna pull in these ideas. That's smart.
Right.
You're pulling in the incubated ideas that may have garnered good attention. Now, whether or not that's how it eventually played out, which it didn't,
Right. Yeah, it went off the rails. Yeah.
that was I was fine with that. I was
Yeah.
like, good. It's all horseshit anyway. It's all fanfic stuff anyway, even if it is paid fanfic.
Right. Yeah, my first initial reaction when I heard that Disney bought all that stuff was not a super negative. I mean, I was kind of like, oh boy, here we go, a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad.
But
either.
I
was like,
didn't
cool,
think
some pretty good
initially. I was
production, you know.
like, yeah. I mean, it could have been a giant boon for it, but it
could
turns
have.
out it got in the hands of some wrong people, and the train went off the tracks a little bit. But
yeah, and I was entertained by the first thing that they put out. I was
I
entertained.
was too.
Until
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate
I
it.
started thinking about it. And
Yeah.
I watched it again.
And then
I started
yes,
looking at
the
stuff,
more
and
I
"Oh
was
my
like,
God,
I was kind of
This is
caught up in the
just
moment. Yeah.
entertaining, and that's it. And it's also just because exactly, there had not been a Star Wars for
Right,
a while, and it
right.
was like, hey, look at the tech, look at this is cool.
I liked
But what
Force
really
Awakens.
happened? Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate
I didn't
Force
like it.
Awakens.
Yeah,
I saw it in the
yeah.
theater. I was like, this is kind of cool. It didn't
Oh,
give me.
I
It didn't give me
watched
the
it at home,
original
and I liked
Star
it.
Wars. It didn't give me the original Star Wars vibe.
They wanted me to get back into the universe of it. That's for
A
sure.
little
I was
bit.
like, oh man,
Yeah,
I
a
kinda
little
want
bit.
more of this.
I got hyped
I didn't
for
like
it.
it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really weak, but I'm also not like a huge Star Wars
Okay. I
don't think
like,
you have to be.
fan or anything. That I just is like, oh, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, the movies were
Yeah, whether
okay,
or
but
not you're a
no.
big Star Wars fan
good
doesn't
movie's a
matter
good
about
movie,
the.
though.
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't like the
No,
movie,
but
you don't
I
have
mean,
to apologize.
if you don't have any kind of investment in the universe,
It
like
shouldn't matter.
no, I'm
Yeah.
saying that like them bringing
I
it
know
back,
where you're going,
having a
but I'm
character
still saying it doesn't. It
just
shouldn't matter.
doesn't. It didn't. There was no. The movie didn't appeal to me, and the universe was like, it could take it or leave
Right.
it. So
Right.
Right.
There was
Yeah,
some parts
that's-
of it
it
I
didn't
didn't
do
anything for
like.
me.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't.
a better take, in my opinion, than being a hardcore fan that has expectations, lined up. Because then you can tell, am I really looking at this being a good movie? Because I was a fan, I was like, I'm gonna wash it with the idea that I want this, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a little bit more leeway, But when I looked at it as just a movie, I was like, I don't know what they did here.
I mean, I like to see. I
I was like,
like
this is kind of a
seeing
fun
Harrison
popcorn
Ford.
movie,
I
but-
like seeing Harrison Ford again. I like seeing Chewbacca again.
Well,
What I didn't like was right off the bat. I didn't like Rey, and I did not like Kylo Ren. Those two characters did
well, they tried to
not do
paint
it for
Rey
me.
as a child. First
Yeah.
off, when she's a grown woman,
Right.
which was weird. I don't like when that.
I
they do
didn't
that.
understand the Rey
But
character.
Then they made her a star
Yeah.
woman at the same time, so it was like, what's going on here with this character?
That was the
Yeah.
eye rolling shit for me on that was,
Yeah.
and I thought the initial Kylo Ren was kind of cool, and then as the movie went on, I was like, yeah, I don't like this character. Yeah, this character is not. It was kind of cool that it was kind of cool that he was trying to like fill Vader's shoes, and he was like
I like the idea.
Yeah, the idea of it, but and I don't mind Adam Driver. It's just as the more that movie went on, the less I was impressed by that character.
Right.
By the end of the movie, I was like, "Oh
I
boy."
was okay with him being a tantrum, like exploding.
That was fine. Yeah.
That was like, okay, well, you don't know how to control yourself.
Right.
You got all this power.
He's got
Your
some
power,
frailties that.
I can get that. I can get on board because having a barbaric ruler, is also that's a huge fear. People have as well.
Right.
Somebody in power that can't control themselves.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I didn't mind that part. It's just
we didn't really get the type of villain we wanted, though.
Right.
I think that's the other thing too.
Yeah, I think the characters were just too shallow. Like they didn't write.
They
Right.
weren't developed enough. Yeah.
Content for those characters. Yeah.
I would have rather seen like older. I would have rather seen old Luke Skywalker from the get go. Like just get Mark Hamill back in here. Let's get Harrison Ford back in. Let's go.
And
That.
yeah, my other issue with the newer Star Wars movies too is that they just put the older characters in for the nostalgia and then
Instead
kill
of
them off.
actually making them part
Yeah.
of it, besides the whole we need an excuse to kill Han Solo, which Harrison Ford demanded that his character.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why he
honestly-
agreed to do it. Is you got to kill
I
him this
honestly would
time.
have preferred if it was like maybe years later, like decades or whatever later, Han Solo had already passed or something like that.
That would have been fine with me too. That would have
just
been
to bring him in to kill him off just because of nostalgia. Is just like really?
But
Like,
have fucking
character's
Lando,
better
have
than
fucking have Lando, have Boba Fett come back from the side, have him make an appearance, he's old and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just have more Star Wars, screw that Rey.
Having Boba kill him is an idea that absolutely should have happened.
That would have been cool.
That would have been probably one of the only acceptable.
That would have been
ways
neat.
I would have wanted to see him die.
100%.
Like having just standing there and fucking duel like old Western.
But having
quick
Ben Solo kill him, having
I didn't
Kylo,
like that at all.
I didn't like that. That was just too
Because
forced.
It felt exactly.
Yeah, I just like
It felt fake. It felt like
fake as fuck.
I don't
I
care
wasn't
about this guy anyway.
Yes, right.
You're trying to build him up. I don't take the whole where they need to be deeper. I think that characters have to develop over time. It's hard to. They got how long was that movie? It doesn't matter. They have a short period of time to develop these characters, and the more of them you put in there, the harder it is for it to do.
But they knew they were going to do 3 movies, though. They knew it,
Right.
So,
that's why I'm like,
why
on the
not
first
start?
movie-
Yeah,
On the first movie, I can accept them not having a lot of the newer ones not having a lot of depth because they don't really they barely had any screen time.
right.
But as it goes on, they should develop, right? I think Kylo kind of developed, but the problem is, and all of these conversations have already been had.
Oh,
the
I
problem
know.
is they kept jerking his character around.
Oh, big
He's going
time.
to do this. now he's gonna do
Oh,
that.
big time.
And that could have gone with his as a character flaw with him. Some people make bad decisions and why are you doing that? Because you start to be good. Because it is human to start doing. It takes time to change over time. You don't just. I'm immediately good. Very few people. I'm not saying it can't happen. You can go cold turkey on things and change your ways, but it's very difficult. So I don't know. It just was still badly written either way.
It was badly written, 100%.
His development just really didn't happen right the way they ended him. We'll put it that way. That's for sure. He just magically became the good guy in the last movie, I guess.
And
What about that Snoke character? That was just an absolute.
It was
whirlpool of-
nonsensical. Yeah,
I'm like, what? Why? It's like they wrote in that character and then they were like, okay, all right, we build it. Oh, we don't know what to do with him. All right, let's just get rid of him.
They were making
Like,
that shit up as they went along.
Yeah, that was a misstep. They shouldn't have changed
Kill him
it.
off, and then bring back Emperor Palpatine. I'm like, what?
He
do
should have
y'all
been the big
actually
bad.
know how to write anything, or what? Is it what?
They have no idea what they're doing. Yeah,
Should
Palpatine.
not have come back.
No, that was stupid.
Snorkel should have been
Snorkel.
the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have been fine with even him being in Palpatine's position at the end where he had a bunch of clones of himself.
100%.
That would make a little bit more sense to me, but
The
like, people were
existence
like,
of
"Oh, look at all
Snoke
these
makes no
clones.
sense.
Well, can
Yeah.
you make a bunch of clones that are Jedi? Maybe you can.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that he found out. But it's just there was too much that was crap by that point. By the last movie, there was just too much that was crap.
The existence of Snoke
planet
made no
full of-
sense.
A planet full of those starships underground that just magically
So
all of it was
stupid.
just so dumb.
Stupid.
It was like a child. Oh, I know now. We have a planet of Battlestar ships,
Yeah.
right? And they're all underground, right? And then they all come up.
And there's this magical
nobody
jewel
can
that
get there.
leads me to the Sith world, and just too many MacGuffins in that
It's
fucking
just,
movie,
too many
man. Just
McMuffins.
McMuffins,
Yes.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many egg
Yeah.
McMuffins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's just
I've seen
Go ahead.
better writing in video games than
Oh,
video
yeah.
games don't got
That's true.
that great rating at all.
I agree. Mass Effect. People talk about that. I agree. I think that's definitely a better story, Mass Effect, than
yep.
whatever happened in Star Wars. You know.
Yep.
Yeah,
So even if I
And
don't
I did
agree with
not-
all the character
and I
plot
did
points
not
that they
like Mass
say
Effect.
they didn't like, yeah.
ending that is.
But
Oh.
I think Force Awakens had potential, and it was unrealized potential. It just
Sure.
They
yeah.
just didn't
It
do
was a
anything
good
with it.
start.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
good start.
decent start.
And even
yeah.
then, it was like, yeah, you can't take the death of Han Solo. That just doesn't. I just didn't like how he ended up being either. He was just like he didn't know. He was like Joe Biden on a spaceship. He really was.
It was
I don't know what's going on.
it
I
was
don't, buddy.
horrible.
What happened? Yeah,
Okay.
you know.
It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Well,
Madman.
I got to drop out here.
Yeah, I
It's been
gotta
a
go
long,
too. I was
long
just about
run.
ready to say I gotta do some stuff, and the Braves baseball game's coming on here in about 20 minutes, and I did my more yard work today, but I wanted to do a weightlifting session and go for a walk as well, so get some shit done. All right, well, thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
That
literally.
was-
like I get a chance to talk about stuff. You know. It's
Yeah,
fun.
that was fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
All right.
I like yapping. All right,
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you guys.
Catch you later.
All right, later.